First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT. You found us at postwrestling.com. You're listening in the Post Wrestling podcast app, and it's Tuesday night, which means...
It means we are live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
Hello, all the postmarks worldwide. And Tuesday, July 14th. Wow. All the NXT friends worldwide. We get together Tuesday nights here at Post Wrestling. We watch NXT and we talk all about it. I hope your summer is going nice. Davey's got the collar open, the taco meat out.
You don't want to know what's going on below this.
Yeah, it's podcasting. We don't need to. We don't record this in the same room anymore as roommates anymore. No. Now that I moved out, so you know we don't need to wear pants when we podcast now. We don't. I could not be wearing. I'm wearing Bret Hart shorts actually, to be honest, but there could be nothing else underneath that for all you know.
I was listening to Grapple the other day, and Benno came back to the chat and was like, "Oh my god, I just realized I didn't turn the camera off when I got up and left the room."
Oh no!
And he was like, "It's okay, I'm good. But yeah, it is that time of year where business up top, and who knows what's going on underneath.
I'll tell you what's going on down there.
It's fucking hot. It's fucking hot right
BTL, what's going on down there? Holy. Yeah, I know it's hearing Canadians talk about hot, and trust me, I'll take this over snow and slush any other day. But this has got to be this is a hot one today. If it said it was 36, there. Which is I don't want to do your American maths, but 36 is hot here, but felt like 40. So
it got up to like 39 at least on my thing today, and then. Plus humidity, it was definitely in the 40s today.
It's the humidity that'll get ya.
It's humidity that gets, which is true because Braden, it was a year ago. I think a year ago today we were in Dallas for
that's true.
For All In.
Wow,
and we were dreading the heat down in Dallas, and we got there and we were like, "Oh, this is
this at home.
This is so nice right now."
The heat is different in Texas. Yeah. Here it's humidity. There it was more dry heat, and it was kind of doable. It was super hot. Don't get me wrong, but this summer is in full gear. And again, I will take this in over snow any day. But like it was really really hot today. I had to go swimming. That's how I cooled I had to. I was just like, that's what I'm doing before watching NXT tonight because just so hot. I don't want to be those guys that just talk about the weather. Maybe it's cold somewhere. It's probably not. Maybe there's like typhoons or whatever. Let's talk about other positive things. What's going on with that diarrhea outbreak? Wash your lettuce, people. What's going on? Hear about this?
I've not been reading it. Is that's what's been wrong with me the last couple of days?
Oh, that maybe you have had contaminated lettuce. That and Taco Bell apparently, which has a lot of lettuce in there. If you call those tacos, but I love a good once in a while Taco Bell, cheeky Taco Bell, but like I'm talking maybe once a year crunch wrap. But yeah, apparently the lettuce has gone bad and people are shitting. Is that what's going on with you? Maybe I just put it down to the heat. I just put anything that hot shits.
The last couple of days, I'm just like, I must be dehydrated.
Imagine someone's like, I watched NXT. I wonder if there's ever any podcasts out there that talk about that. Post wrestling? That sounds nice.
Like, hey, have you shat today?
Drizzling hot shit. Another sad thing though. Everyone's shitting. R.I.P. Sam Neill. That kind of bummed me out. So this show is dedicated to Dr. Alan Grant.
He looked really at a big pile of shit, didn't he?
No, that was Jeff. Well, he also saw it. Yeah.
He saw the poo. Yeah.
Yeah, it was dry though. This big rhino poo. Yeah, R.I.P. man. That guy's great. Jurassic Park, obviously, but I guess around Halloween, are we gonna review him as Damien? Right? Isn't he in like the Omen? What is he, like the president when Damien grows up?
Is it Omen Part 3? I
think so. Yeah, when he's president.
Correct. Yeah, because Omen Part 2, he would be a teenager and then he's a president. Yeah.
I can't really think of other movies. I know that, what was that movie with Ethan Hawke, the vampire one, Daybreakers? He's a vampire or something in that as well. He was pretty creepy.
I mean, more recently, Peaky Blinders.
Oh wow! I didn't know he was in that. I haven't watched that. Yeah, but I heard it's good. But wow, okay, yeah, so he still has been like active, I guess. Oh man, Dr. Alan Grant, that's a big one. Like that, that's crazy. It kind of makes me want to. I've not caught up on all the Jurassic Worlds, so I feel like maybe this is an excuse.
I kind of gave up after. Yeah. I watched the
first Chris Pratt.
I watched the second. I watched the second Chris Pratt.
Oh,
film.
Okay.
But you know what I did catch up with? Toy Story.
Oh.
Yesterday, I went to see Toy Story 5.
Oh, how was it? Did you cry? Did you laugh?
I laughed. I teared up a little bit. Maybe not as much as the other ones, but like I definitely felt for Bonnie a couple of times in that film.
Right.
Having a rough time of it. I felt very similarly to how I felt about 4, where I think 3 is just one of the greatest movies ever made. I think 3 is such a perfect movie. And I felt 4 and 5 were completely unnecessary, but then awesome. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no need. The story's done. We don't need to see any more. But I get to hang out with my friends Woody and Buzz and Jesse and fucking.
I feel the same way
again.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. And did I laugh? Yes. Did I get hit in the feels and get the warm and fuzzies? Yes. So like, I couldn't be mad about it.
Like I know I saw it. Yeah, I saw it a few weeks ago, and I didn't want to like tell you anything because I didn't want to spoil. But the big like pizza with glasses. This is the best. I'm a simple man. All I need is pizza with glasses, and realize after the fact that it's Bad Bunny who voices it, and I was like, yeah, that's fucking perfect. So
I didn't realize that till after, and I think that was the first bit I audibly like laughed out loud.
Yeah, it was so hard for me not to.
I went on my own. I just sat in the back row and I was watching it, and it was like, hey, and I'm just pizza with sunglasses. I'm like,
yeah, that was a great bit. So that's why I was like, all right, the movie got a pass for me because it had me audibly laughing. So and some of the cameo, like there's like a lucha wrestler is Matty Matheson, Toronto chef actor dude. So like he's the voice of that. Bad Bunny is the pizza glasses. There's a few new people they slid into some new characters and stuff, so I imagine they do one more. Like, why not? If the voice actors are still around before we go full AI with it, fuck it, do one more. Why not?
I do question though how like sometimes, you know, you listen to us guys, every now and then we have issues with StreamYard, we have issues with our Wi-Fi, and yet this like camera and this like happy poop, like learn how to wipe.
What the thing, app in the movie?
They're like, oh yeah, we just connect to internet and can send messages to lily pads and stuff from
Terminator 2, Skynet. Yeah. Like, I mean that's probably why they did it, because for years people were like, if they made a new Toy Story, shouldn't it just be the toys have been replaced by screens? And that's exactly the premise of this movie. So it does kind of make fun of that and poke at that. So I did like it. I recently watched Obsession. I learned why everyone's obsessing over Obsession. If you want a real freaky movie, definitely recommend that. I feel like you'd like that. It's the A24 or A24. They've been putting out some good stuff. But I've been waiting. The Odyssey is coming out this week, and then Spider-Man in few weeks. So it's a big summer.
There's a lot I want to see. Yeah. Definitely the Odyssey, like Christopher Nolan. Absolutely got to see it. I did the play years and years and years ago.
Oh, nice. So okay.
I'm pretty sure this has a bit of a higher budget than when I did it, but no, very, very much looking forward to that. But yeah, there's a bunch of Obsession is it Backrooms or
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, there's a bunch that's getting buzz. Just been too busy with wrestling and football these last few weeks.
Yeah, the World Cup's it's almost at an end. How you feeling? Tonight's Tuesday. It's almost home. Hopefully, so today it's Tuesday. Obviously, we're just recording right after NXT, and tomorrow, what time is England playing Argentina?
3 p.m. So a bit of an upset today because I think a bit of an upset. Spain beating Portugal.
I was shocked.
Spain beating France, handily. I didn't see that coming, and I don't think the bookies did either, because I placed a bet on England to win the whole thing at the beginning of the tournament, and it was interesting because my cash out after Spain won actually went up. So the bookies kind of feel England might fare a little better, maybe.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a huge game tomorrow. England, Argentina, a lot of history there. History that our friend Buffalo Caleb was not aware about when he decided to come to the BDE wearing an Argentina shirt the other week.
I had a Fernet and Coke yesterday, so I'm sorry, man. I kept seeing videos which these are great that I do love from this FIFA stuff, is the little interviews you see sometimes, hey, Ronaldo, what do you eat in Portugal? And he's like, hey, these are some of the foods that I eat. Hey, what are some of the drinks that people drink? And you hear all the different countries and stuff like that. And then I learned Argentina, they drink our favorite, which is Italian, the Fernet Branca from Dark Knight Rises, obviously. But then I learned that the drink of Argentina, they keep saying, is the Fernet and Cola. So I had one yesterday.
We actually had at one of our events, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last year at Wide Open. I think.
It's nice. It adds a whole minty herbal thing to your cola,
nice.
But
it's lovely. But I'm not touching that until after.
Yeah, sorry, I may have jinxed you. So tomorrow is Messi versus Kane in the dream match, and then what happens if they win that? Then there's one more to win.
Yeah, it's the final.
Right?
It's England. It'll be England-Spain on Sunday.
All right, England-Spain
rematch from the Euros 2 years ago.
Wow, who won that?
Spain. But it's
long-term booking, long-term storytelling.
60 years since England last made the final, and when they made the final, they won it. So it's a bit of a, it's everything's wrestling. Everything's wrestling. We lost 2 years ago to Spain.
Yeah.
We'll beat Argentina. Apparently, the week that we beat Norway in the quarters, they found the remains in a car park in the UK of the warrior who defeated the Viking warrior or something like that. I don't know. Lots of omens, and I believe it all.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming.
All I know is I had a really funny experience today. This has never happened, but I got an Uber. I was in Mississauga, the party next door today, for work, and I got an Uber back home to Toronto. And when the car pulled up, there was a kid in the front seat. And when I opened the door, he's like, "Hey, man, my kid didn't go to summer school or summer camp today. Is it cool? Sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, fine." Because my Uber earlier in the morning of the day was a nice guy, but didn't know Toronto at all. And I'm like, "Well, you're a terrible cab driver because you don't know where you're going and you're just trusting GPS. There's a difference, I find." So I was like, "All right, kid, you can have your kid in the front seat." And for the most part, I'm just listening to music. I'm on my phone in the back seat. AC was on. I was happy, fine. But as we got into the city, all of a sudden we passed by a bar that was packed with people watching the game, and we were at a red light, and we just heard, "Ah!" So this kid was like, "Yo, what's going on?" Right? So I quickly realized it's because the game was on. So I pulled up the score, and out loud, we had not talked other than, "Yeah, it's cool, your kid's in the car," for 30 minutes in this long ride. And I go, "Whoa, Spain is winning 2-0. And I kid you, this driver almost got in a car accident. He was like, "You fucking what?" And swerved the car. And the kid is like, "What?" And the kid grabs the dad's phone while he's driving.
Crying,
he's like, "No, they're like, no, France." I'm like, "No, Spain." They just scored again. That's the second goal. And this kid was losing his mind. And then he said, this is the kid's predictions here, Davey. He said, "Wow, I thought for sure France, and France would definitely smoke England, but now that changes everything. And I was like, whoa, maybe this kid knows ball a little bit. So there you go. That was my day today. 5 stars.
What's funny, and I don't want to speak on behalf of all our Scottish listeners, but Scotland tend to root against England. And
they're just jealous.
Unless it's Argentina. Because, again, history and stuff like that. And I bumped into a Scot earlier, and he confirmed it. He was like, you know what, tomorrow you go and win. You go and win. You can lose in the final. You can lose in the final, but tomorrow you can go and win. And like it's funny. It's sad. I'm ready for it to all come to an end. It's been pretty exhausting few weeks, but it's only a couple of games left. England, at this point, everyone's guaranteed 2 games because they've got the shitty playoff game for 3rd place, which no one cares about beforehand. But but I bumped into someone else, like a mutual friend of ours who we know from the bars as well. And he was like, all right, Davie, what's the score tomorrow? And I was like, I don't want to say. I don't want to say. And he's like, no, go for it. I was like, I don't. I was like, I've read this book. I've seen this movie so many times. I don't want to put it out there. And he's like, put it out there. And I went, England losing penalties. He's like, what? You can't say that. I was like, I know, I can't say that. I know, but. And he's like, no. He handed me $20. And he's like, no, we're putting $40 down between us right now. He's like, open your app. $40 between us. Harry Kane will score. And England will win 2-1 in regulation. So
whoa.
All right, we'll do it.
Okay.
So that is the bet for tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
What time's the game?
3.
Okay.
3. So I've got a staff meeting in the morning. My work, get this. We have 2 Englishmen who work at my new bar.
Yeah.
Guess how many people at the bar actually care about football?
I'm going to say just the Englishman. Probably.
2 people. People have got into it over the course of the tournament.
But still.
And there's quite a few staff. And guess who they put on for tomorrow?
The Brits.
The 2 Englishmen, yeah.
Did you move your shift?
I just dropped it. We've both managed to move stuff around, but we do have a staff meeting in the morning, and then the England game, and then I do have tickets to Mutes afterwards.
Oh, nice!
I forgot I bought these tickets, and in this heat wave, we will see how I feel after the game. I would like to go. I'd really like to go, but
you should. Who's opening? Do you know? I just went to RBC because I went to the same venue last night for a band I love, Lord Huron, and it was hot, but it wasn't as hot as today, so I was okay. I
actually ordered one of those neck fans today.
Oh yeah, so did one of my other friends today. Was showing me. He's like, "Look what I got." I was like, "Oh, everyone in Japan had them. I'm sure you saw them in Vietnam."
Oh, they're meant to be really good. So I got that. All right, who we've got? We've got the Temper Trap. Oh shit, Block Party. Okay, I know.
Whoa, the Temper Trap, Block Party, and Muse. That's pretty good lineup, actually. Oh, sweet. Yeah, they did these everywhere. I guess ticket sales and stuff, and people, and money, and inflation, and yada yada yada. A lot of these concerts this year, were suffering from ticket sales, so they had to do a lot of these, buy one get one, or $30 tickets, or 5 for $100, or something like that. So, last night, Lord Huron, I've seen them at a lot of smaller venues, and this was the first time seeing them.
And stuff, right? Yeah.
And they said, hey, this was actually our highest selling show ever, most attended. It was like wrestling. I was like, whoa, highest attended. Yeah, what's the thing? The gate, the rolling, the attendance thing. Yeah, how many actually? Is this the shoot number? You should go to the show, even though it will be hot as AF for sure. But
I feel at least cool. Go. If I have to tap out early, because today I fucked up because those of you that might listen to, well, we've mentioned it every here and now and then, but we've definitely mentioned on the Patreon. We both have like a little side gig which comes around every now and then, which is like hosting, team building. Like
I hosted a trivia game today. Yeah, I hosted like a pub trivia kind of game. Yeah.
And I thought I had one of those gigs this morning, which started at 7. So I set my alarm at like 5:15 for this thing, and got up. I woke up, got myself ready, had a really strong coffee, walked to the venue. I'm like, hey, where is everyone? Check my phone. I'm like, it's not the 21st today, is it? It's the 14th.
Oh no!
And realized I was a week early, and absolutely could not get to sleep after this. Yeah, so that plus the heat. But you did one today as well?
I did one today, and I was messaging you because I was like, oh, you're doing one and I'm doing one. But then you had messaged me even before I was getting ready to go to mine. And you're like, oh my God, mine's not today. I was like, oh, no. I've had someone do that at work. Like, I don't think I've ever done it personally, but I've had someone at work show up, and I'm like, looking at them, and they're like, why are you here? I'm like, why are you here? And then they go, fuck. And this dude has done this to me like 3 times over the past few years, and then I learned that he's also done this while other people were working. I'm like, this guy just wants to come to work when he's not scheduled. He just wants to...
better to be early than late. Like I saw the security guard, so it's like at one of these big banks in the city.
Yeah. These are usually pimp ass like locations and corporate shit. Yeah, we balling out here, okay?
So I get there, I get there early, like 15 minutes before the call time, just to be there, and everything's good. And he's like, oh yeah, just go up there and wait until 7, and then at 7 we'll come out, someone will come and see you. I'm like, oh, cool. Go up the escalator, I'm waiting, checking my email, get back down the escalator. And I'm like, oh, I'm early. And he's like, yeah, no, you still got 3 minutes, dude. I was like, no, I'm a week early. And the guy's like,
This guy just laughed at you.
Just laughed at me. I was like, I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bring him a coffee, a donut.
Yeah,
wow.
Just
be best mates with him.
Practice run. Yeah.
Wow, you're a real eager beaver there. Damn. Well, so you've been awake all day then, and then you watch some footy?
I've been awake. And if I fall asleep during the show, it's
It's all right. It's okay.
It's all right. I've got like 4 fans on me now, so I should.
Yeah, if you hear fans, hey, we mentioned it's hot. So sorry, podcasters, listeners out there, the fans are on, and we appreciate you being our fans.
Technology's better now, so we normally.
It's not as bad,
I think.
Yeah, it's not as bad, and like editing and stuff, hopefully. But exactly. Famous last words. We'll talk about NXT in a little bit. Someone out there is groaning, but. There's a lot of other stuff going on. You mentioned this Sunday is a World Cup, so we won't be going live because I'm sure you're going to watch England win the whole damn thing because it's going to come home, and then we'll go home in August for All In, and we'll celebrate even more when we're there.
I do currently have a standby host for Saturday. I might do something Saturday, depending on tomorrow's result.
Right.
And
how Muse goes.
Yeah. But potentially I'll drop something on the Poisonrana feed this Saturday. And if I don't, sorry. Yeah.
We just dropped one though this Sunday, just past Sunday. We went live over on our Poisonrana podcast. Search Poisonrana in your Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Give us a follow and check out all the other shows. We got tons of free shows. We usually go live. We won't this Sunday, but if you do a show this weekend, if not, we will regardless do an AEW Redemption preview show sometime before that weekend because we will be making the trek up here in the Great White North. It'll be great white hot up in MTL, I'm sure, for my birthday Redemption weekend. So we're going to have a fun time I'm going to hit up Mystery Wrestling. I know some of our friends are hitting up Weird Al. It's going to be a really fun time up in Montreal.
I'm gonna hit up Schwartz. That's all I have.
Schwartz. Hey, we're going together. Let's get it. Friday for lunch. Me and you. Let's go. That's it. We'll smoke a fatty and hit up Schwartz. Any listeners? We've gotten a few people messaging. We are going to just pick a bar near the Bell Center on the Sunday. It's looking like it might be the Piranha Bar because, well, just look them up and tell me I didn't pick a fun bar. There's tons of bars in the area, but any listeners who are traveling or post-wrestling peeps, anyone out there, we will be hanging out before AEW Redemption in the Bell Center. Same goes for All In down in London town in a few months, but more on that when we get a little closer. But any people going to Montreal for Redemption, we would love to hang out with you before the show on Sundays. So feel free to DM, but we will kind of be posting stuff. But follow us on our socials, including our Instagram, which we're trying to bulk up. We're at like 860 followers, and we've been for a long time, guys. Go grab your partner's phone, your mom's phone, and go install Instagram and go follow at Poisonrana.pod and check out all the content we've been pumping out. Shout out Soren, who's been just doing a hell of a job working with us and doing these like reels and making us look all great and real and professional, and it's been awesome. So go check us out. All the little likes and comments go such a long way, and it helps us out. So thank you.
Yeah, we're so close to 1,000 on Instagram, and we're so close to 1,400 on YouTube.
Okay,
so we've been doing a lot on the YouTube. We do all our shows on YouTube, like our Patreon, our
nice
Poisonrana shows, obviously up next. Please give us a follow at Poisonrana Pod on YouTube, because we're so close to cracking that goal. So help us achieve it.
Yeah, we have a lot of housekeeping here. We just did a show on Sunday, so you can find that on our YouTube or Spotify or whatever. We were talking about Beach Break and big week in wrestling. Two big title changes on free TV. We talked all about CM Punk. I know we did last Tuesday, but we talked more about CM Punk beating Sami Zayn, plus the awesome match. Kenny Omega finally reclaiming some gold in AEW. We talked about Beach Break, Kenny, MJF, all the preview, looking ahead to Redemption and All In, plus some SmackDown and setting up Cody and CM Punk for SummerSlam. But that is a show you can hear us talk all about from just Sunday afternoon. But speaking of SummerSlam, if you are in the Toronto area and you want to watch the show and hang out with the boys, well, you can. August 1st, August 2nd, National, downtown at the Well, 486 Front Street in Toronto. We got our SummerSlam watch party, both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a riot. We got some wrestling drink specials, real passionate fans, some games, trivia, and even some crazy prizes, including, I think we're giving away a winged eagle and potentially a classic IC title belt. So it's going to be crazy, and anyone who's come to our events,
I've actually got them right next to me.
Oh,
right
wow!
now.
In bubble wrap. Wow, very nice. Yes, we have a lot of fun with these wrestling parties. Some of you have shown up, and that's been awesome. And you guys can attest that we like to have fun and watch the wrestling. And SummerSlam has some big matches announced so far, so it's even more fun to watch with the big.
Looking good.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, so Poisonrana.ca for links to everything that we do, but on the top of the page there, it is the Eventbrite for our SummerSlam watch party. So going to be a whole lot of fun. Yeah, we have AC in the National, and they have Mario Kart, so let's go.
They do.
Yeah, we haven't played it yet. We haven't played against each other at the National. It's because we're busy and like watching wrestling and stuff, but maybe after we can try it out. But it's going to be a fun time for the SummerSlam watch party. But we talked about it. SummerSlam, Cody and CM Punk. In my opinion, the biggest match that you can do. I think just full stop, like let alone WWE. These were two guys who never touched in AEW. So in my opinion, this is the biggest match you can potentially do full stop in wrestling in where we're at in 2026. Like this match has been bubbling. They've been teasing it.
For a long time, hasn't it? Yeah.
I'm really happy that they've done it. I know we spoke our piece last Tuesday about Sami Zayn and stuff, and I do think CM Punk winning it again, you instantly announce the Cody match and it instantly feels like a big deal. But then, of course, Phil's got to go talk to Stephanie McMahon on his podcast and talk about how much he loves the fact that wrestlers are making so much more money now and the boys are happy and can feed their family. Which is actually kind of funny, because if I recall correctly, about a year, 2-3 years ago,
doesn't that make you complacent?
I listened to him on another podcast where he said the exact opposite of what he just said. Just saying. But anyways, I digress. I still think it's a big match for SummerSlam. But Hypocrite Phil has got to be the best gimmick in wrestling today, because it continues. It's like every week. It's like, oh man, he's saying something else that he once said the opposite of, and he's going up against his word. But I love this heel character that we all just... It's like when Cody never turned heel, but everything he did was pretty much a heel. It's just two heels facing each other, really. It's what's happening at SummerSlam.
One day we have to go back and analyze that weird promo Cody did on the way out. Where
like what do you want to talk about? That's where it originated, right?
Yeah. He starts shooting on like Ricky Starks and then talks about little Gabe Kidd, and people are like, what? Like Gabe Kidd was nowhere even near the company at that point. And why is he little?
Yeah.
It was a weird one. But yeah, I think CM Punk's fascinating, and Phil Brooks knows how to play that part really, really well. And I think it's going to make this Cody Punk feud quite interesting. And I don't see this being a one and done. I do think this is, like we were saying on Sunday, I think this is probably the catalyst for one of them to turn heel. I would lean towards Punk with that and do a extended reign similar to his 434-day reign, where starts as a babyface and becomes the bad guy during that. That's what I do. And
Summer of
I
Punk.
think they've got a great opportunity to do that for this Summer of Punk. Absolutely.
Like, it would be interesting if he was a heel, but I don't know if they would fully go that. It would be more so, I'm doing some things, and if you agree or like me still, like, it's up to you kind of thing, which they dabble with certain characters for sure, right? So, like the Seth and Roman thing, right? So, it's like kind of letting you choose. And I think both nights in both title matches is the same way. It's like, well, we know both guys can be dickheads, but you choose who you want to vote for or cheer for in each match. But I do think that is, they haven't announced which is which, but I would say Cody and Punk is the main event of night 2.
The way they said main event of this made me feel this is night 2 main event. Absolutely.
I would think so. Yeah. I would love to see some Cody promos going off on Punk and Hypocrite Punk and all that stuff. And I would like a heel turn from one of them, and it would be more interesting. Dare I say, if they do this properly, if they do the Punk thing properly, a heel turn could be as talked about as, the John Cena one. But if they follow through with it, it could be like, that could be the next big, huge heel turn, is if Punk does something so dastardly. But most Punk fans are okay with him doing something dastardly. You'll follow him. He's kind of like Homelander, and then he's facing Homelander at SummerSlam. So, yeah, it makes it for a hell of an interesting match. And again, there never had
worse role models out there than CM.
Absolutely,
like, yes,
absolutely.
He might go back on his word. Who doesn't? But like, there are worse people out there than
for
CM
sure.
Punk.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of the bigger matches, and I think we'll see it again at a WrestleMania, if it's not next year, if it's not another one down the line. Like, these two definitely going to have quite a few matches, I would assume so. But I think if Punk turns heel, he could beat Cody, and that gives the excuse of maybe why he would go back to it eventually down the line. Where did you watch any? I happened to watch some of Raw today, so because I know that we would be maybe talking about it, and I know that they have the other title match announced, which is Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And boy, did I get a chuckle out of Roman Reigns, not once, but twice, telling Seth Rollins that he put people to sleep, because I literally went to sleep last week. I literally fell asleep last week in that promo. So Roman cooked him instantly. That describes this whole thing. Roman just shit all over him, roasted him, and Seth was like, yeah, you got me. It's like, whoa, what? And then beats him up.
I liked it, though. I did think this added way more than last week. I think last week Seth did bore everyone to tears with the Shield law, the stuff we all know, and just going on it, and it was just so much exposition, and it's like, we've been watching this for fucking 14 years, this story. Seth, you don't need to tell us. A video package can do that for us, which it did on this show this week. And I thought it was way more interesting, Roman just saying the quiet part out loud, like the reality of this situation, the number one, the number two. And I think that's where Seth actually excels, is when some truth is being said. Because I actually thought, I'm not a lover of Seth's promo, but in that moment, I did really enjoy his reactions to what Roman was saying. And I thought he seemed very real in that moment. And I thought it was the most, real thing the two of them have been doing, rather than, as you keep on saying, how many times are we going to recreate the chair shot? Whereas this was sprinkling a bit of reality into it. And it goes back on, think of the Colt Cabana podcast with Punk about keep Roman strong and all that.
Exactly,
and it was alluding to that stuff as well. And I actually thought, I think Roman's come a long way, and I think the Punk feud really brought that out of him. And this felt like Roman from the Punk feud. And I actually thought Seth, in the way he was receiving those lines, felt very real. So I thought this week was, for me, a thumbs up on the feud, and actually made me way more interested in it than I was last week, where I was kind of bored to sleep with it all.
No, completely agree. Roman is upped it for sure. Like, I definitely wasn't the biggest Roman fan when we went through I think of old Roman, when we watch old Teeth Roman, OG Teeth Roman era. Like, wasn't Roman. I wasn't as dog food and all that. I wasn't necessarily a big fan, but he has come a long way. And since, iron sharpens iron, ever since rubbing shoulders with a lot of these big talkers, and hey, like, he's been the guy. He's been doing this for 5 years, like being this version of himself for quite a while now.
He should be good now.
He needs to be good, or he wouldn't be here. Yeah. So, and trust me, like, again, I was still kind of am a Roman hater, but you can't deny that he seems the most confident maybe over any wrestler now. And his kayfabe wise, like, the people are like, oh, PWI, we yearly, and like, who's top? It's like, kayfabe wise, he's the guy. He's been the most main events of WrestleMania, all this like shit. But I thought he absolutely crushed Seth here, and Seth's response is, I just got to beat you up. So we got to hear Seth be like, hey, keep Roman strong. And Seth now has to have a week to come back with something that's maybe picking at some truth and pulling back some layers. And of course, probably if you're mentioning number 1 and number 2, then is someone going to be called number 3, or is Seth going to call Roman number 3, or something like that, right? Any Mox references? Possibly, but... they like. I hope that Seth can come back.
I feel Seth might bring him up. Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, Seth's comeback is. I mean, he said it in this. Like, you've never beaten me, which is true. So that is his thing. But I think that's always been the thing missing with Seth Rollins, is a little bit of depth. Like, and I think we see him, like, I think the Punk feud brought it out of him a little bit, and this feud could bring it out of him a little bit as well. But I think that's always been the thing with Seth that has made him a number 2. There's always been something missing, and I do think it's depth. And I have found, like, the ha-ha and the costumes and all that has been masking something where, you have Roman who's just stood there in a t-shirt and tracksuit bottoms and is still like the aura oozing off of him, whereas it always feels put on with Seth Rollins. And there are certainly good things with Seth Rollins as well. Like, there's a reason why he's been around for this long, but it is that thing that's been holding him back from being a number 2 and from being the number 1. And I think Roman did kind of expose that. But I like that in wrestling, because it's like sink or swim,
I thought what he said, it got a chuckle out of me. Him saying, "What is it, your work daddy? Triple H runs the place, and you still couldn't do it. I was gone, and they gave. What did he say? They gave you my stuff, and you still couldn't do it." I was like, "Damn, okay." I mean, not wrong. Like, I love Seth. I think Seth, obviously, better worker. He's got a great catalog of wrestlers. Long live Tyler Black. But I haven't been invested in this character in quite a long time, and I feel like over the last few, actually, it was Roman's promo that reminded me. Every time he's been champion, he got hurt, which is crazy. I didn't even realize that, but then it made me think.
Line, actually.
Yeah, which made me think. I'm like, oh shit, actually, dude is speaking facts there. So Yeah, honestly, Roman is definitely leveled up in promo, and I think Seth needs to come back with some heat, some bars next week. Talking the truth, we got to get references to like how you were the shit one and we made you, like all that kind of stuff. Because I guess that's all he has, other than you haven't beaten me yet. But it's the first time for everything, and it's SummerSlam, so I don't see Seth winning. Like at least Cody and Punk, it can kind of go either way. I think it's Punk, but I see Roman retaining as well. Anything else from Raw that caught your attention?
I mean, it struck me that the Bird Lady became even more like the Bird Lady, aka Home Alone 2.
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan in this episode, where, if you remember, we did do a review once of Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2 with John Pollock.
And if you're unaware, Bird Lady's story, her origin story, is like, hey, Bird Lady, why are you covered in bird shit? She's like, well, Kevin, I broke up with my husband and I thought the only way to deal with it was to be covered in bird shit and live in Central Park. And Kevin's like, oh, that's weird. Do you want a Christmas ornament? Thank you, Kevin. I'll save you with fireworks. That's Home Alone 2.
That's beautiful.
Right? And this was Lyra Valkyria. She broke up with Bailey, and she hasn't washed for a week. And
yeah, I noticed that.
And has gone a little crazy, but
a little stinky, maybe.
You know, a little stinky.
It's hot out there, Bird Lady, covered in shit.
I find it funny because it was like she remembered from like the top up, and then she still like had great boots. She was wearing great boots and looked good. But no, you know what? I've not really been much of a fan of Lyra Valkyria's mic work. I think she's very good in-ring wrestler.
Yeah.
And I do think she has a level of charisma in ring that can connect to people, but I think she struggled beyond that. And I haven't necessarily seen her as someone who would be able to be a heel. And when she came out and she's got the the crazy hair and the crazy like makeup and I'm a bird lady covered in bird poo kind of vibe, I was like, oh boy. And then you know what? She kind of won me around by the end of the segment. And I thought she kind of tapped into something. And again, like as kind of ridiculous as she looked at the start of it, when she's like, I've been trying to help you win all this time since I had that kind of mess to the end of the Becky feud. Right. I've been trying to help you, and what's it led to me? It's nothing. And I actually thought she sounded pretty good by the end of it. So by the end of the segment, I was like, you know what? I'm curious to see more of Lyra Valkyria's Piers Morgan.
Yeah, she did tap into something. I think it's bird shit though. I saw one look at it and I went, they didn't do that. No, that can't be real. So it made me go throw it on like, oh, you're now you're heel Bird Lady. This is like Schitt's Creek Bird Lady now. It's Catherine O'Hara Bird Lady now. I actually didn't believe that. I thought that like, hey, people send me shit all the time. It's AI or not. I'm like, she's not actually looking like that now, right? She is, and she said Bailey's the worst horsewoman. It's like, damn. Okay.
Do you agree with that? Is
Bailey, I love you, but maybe I don't know. It's not fair. I like all of them. They're right. They're like the Beatles. Brooklyn. Yeah, she'll always have to take over Brooklyn, but it's like the Beatles. We all love Ringo.
I mean,
George is cool.
She might be like if you were ranked, and they're all great. Like
rank them right now. Horsewomen.
I love
Becky, number one. Sasha, number one.
Yeah, Mercedes. I think Mercedes has. She slipped for a while, but I think I'd go.
Yeah,
I think I'd probably go.
Yeah, if you asked me 5 years ago,
Mercedes, Becky, Charlotte, Bailey.
Yeah, I would agree with that ranking.
That being said, Becky and Charlotte have had some great matches.
Absolutely.
They didn't have Brooklyn. And I think that still is one of the most important matches in women's wrestling history. So
Agreed.
Bayley might be number 4, but Charlotte and Becky don't have Brooklyn. So
like I like all of them, don't get me wrong, but and Becky at one point just like became such a huge thing. Like, think of the man, and we went to WrestleMania where she main evented, first women's match, all that stuff. Like, it felt big and everything, feuding Ronda Rousey and Charlotte and stuff. But over time, I know, yeah, like when there was a down point with Sasha, but then she had the chutzpah to be like, no, I'm gonna leave and go build a legacy elsewhere, and then has. Like, I think it was a little rocky, and people were really critical of her at first, including us. And then now she's completely turned it around, where I think she bet on herself and her legacy, it hit. And I would say her WWE NXT catalog also, I think, just would put her maybe above, like you said, that match with Bayley, right? But she has a lot of other stuff. It's funny because we do a show called Was Next on our Patreon, and it's for you real NXT friends out there. We go back from all the way in the Full Sail era, and then we watch it all the way through. And currently on that show in our series, we're in the middle of 2014. And this episode that we just released last week, July 31st, 2014 edition of NXT, which again, YouTube, it's for free. WWE's put up the NXT Vault, so you can watch all these shows and join our journey with us. But we literally just watched a match, and it was Charlotte versus Becky for the first time ever. And it was on NXT, and it was like a 4-minute match. And we were like, holy shit. Also, the Revival / the Mechanics / FTR make their debut. It's cool to go back and rewatch, but I would say, Bayley, I'm sorry, I love you. And I got a hug from her once when I went to Full Sail, but probably my least favorite 4 horsewoman. Maybe I'd put her above Charlotte. Fuck it. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe. I think what is it Fritz von Erich said? The rankings can always change.
Yeah, the rankings can always change, brother. True. It's true, because get me on a different day. Maybe I'm this one's better than this one, but I love all the horsewomen equally. Okay,
we also had Penta versus Chad Gable announced for SummerSlam. There, which kind of makes sense. We were talking on Sunday about, like, it's kind of weird doing a babyface v babyface thing, but then as they're laying it out on Raw with, it's Minnesota, okay, Chad Gable, and then going the match that kind of sent Chad through this spiral was losing to Penta. So kind of the full circle moment is him facing Penta. So you know what, I think that'll be pretty good. And if they can, if they just get given time, and because that Raw match was great, Penta's debut way back when was pretty fun. So
they got to capitalize.
Just let them go out and do what they can do. Could actually potentially steal the show.
They should capitalize on the popularity of that Gable Grande match, right? And I think if you give them time and feature, which I feel like they have with this story already, it would be great for them to have a SummerSlam classic, and then Chad Gable cheats by ripping off Penta's mask to win.
There we go.
Psych! Bitch, you thought what? I fucking hate luchadors. Chad Gable in his hometown, sort of.
And then in a I'm not sure who I'm supposed to cheer match, we have LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys taking on Jacob, Jay, and Jimmy. The Bloodline.
Mid, skip. Yeah, no, I don't. Sounds terrible. I wouldn't watch that on Raw. So, no. That's my no notes.
I feel for LA Knight in this.
Me too.
I think LA Knight's been doing some great work recently.
Agree.
And I've said on these shows, I like some gray areas. I like tweeners now and then, and I like people, morally where they're not sure where they're standing or whatever. We do have a whole lot of it in WWE right now, and the Bloodline is kind of emblematic of that right now, I think, because people love the Bloodline, but they're really not. They were actually more likable when they were heels, I think, than they are currently.
For sure,
in my opinion.
I think
a little bit of a weird match, and I'm like, are we supposed to be cheering Solo now?
Let's cheer for LA Knight. Like, let's try to, like, post SummerSlam. Maybe we heat him up for a Roman feud, a Seth feud. Imagine Seth wins, then you could easily go to LA Knight because he clowned him. But you could go to Roman. Like, okay, I'm not saying give LA Knight the title right now, but you could be featured. I still feel like he's a hot act. I think I joked last week when Seth literally put me to sleep, and I woke back up, and then I rewound it, and in that same promo, LA Knight's like, bro, you're putting people to sleep. I'm like, this guy's hilarious. And the brother thing got a lot of traction. That brother, like, that was everywhere this week. So, Taylor's old as time. Push LA Knight. Will they do it? Probably not. But, yeah, I want him to win the match. That's all I care about. So,
and then finally, how you doing?
Oh, yeah. What was that? It looked like a big bill. Was that WH Park Morrissey? What was that? Big Bill? Big Cass?
Yeah.
Whoa.
With the date, it's the Monday after SummerSlam. They've kind of announced. Now,
okay.
I did notice during the vignette, they showed a lot of Enzo as well. And are we maybe going to get an Enzo vignette next week? And are we getting the two of them back together as a team?
Yeah. Wow. I guess the Big Bill jumped ship. I feel like he was only wrestling on AEW like recently, or maybe he hasn't been since the Jericho stuff, actually, right? Maybe he's been
a
off.
while, yeah.
I feel like I've seen him, but yeah, not in a long time. And I guess they came calling and he answered, and he's going home. He's going back with his boy Enzo. I guess it's okay. Like, they got rid of Enzo, and then Enzo kind of cleared his name, I guess.
Yeah. Gave us a weird CD.
I mean, I was going to say, you know what this means, right? We got to finally listen to the weird mixtape that Enzo's Rock Mix 16 or whatever he gave us at the ECW Arena Mania 40 weekend. I got to know what's on this CD. No machine we have plays it.
He just knew that in that moment in Philadelphia.
He gave us a blank disc.
Maybe or maybe not, allegedly, consensually sticking his tongue down a girl's throat at the merch table.
Allegedly.
Just knew that our good friend Golden Graham had to listen to this CD.
Just like, what would his Rock Mix 16 be? And also, what would the first 15 be? If this was Rock Mix. Enzo's still making burn CDs like I did in 2000 when I was 9. Enzo's downloading, like, I don't even know what he would listen to. His own music.
He's still got Kazaa. Yeah, he's still using Kazaa.
LimeWire.
Yeah.
So Enzo and Cass, you know what? Like, that was an act that I think fell through the cracks. Like, I felt like that was such a hot act when they were on top. Like I watched them in NXT before, and I just knew those silly catchphrases would work. The chicken tenders, soft, how you doing, all that stuff. And then think like merch. Like, they moved merch. Not only t-shirts is a wrestling game in the t-shirt game, but they had people wearing that fucking like headband with the hair, and like they had people out there. I seen that at shows, and I still do see once in a while an Enzo and Cass shirt. So honestly, like, why not? It's the most WWE act they had. Like, Enzo kind of did some wrestling. All I remember is him running headfirst into the rope and getting knocked out. But Cass, like, being the muscle.
Don't say his name.
Don't say. Yeah, I feel like it makes sense. They would fit in, and Big Bill has improved over the years. And like, knowing his story of his comeback and everything in life, like, I'm down for him to give it one more shot. So I'm actually positive about this.
I mean, we were kind of talking on Sunday's Poisonrana about, Moneyball, essentially. You've let go of Sheamus, you've let go of the New Day, who were probably on very high contracts and unwilling to take a pay cut. Whereas these guys have been out of the system for a while. You get that return pot, and, they also get a little bit of freshness. I love the New Day, but they grew stale. Feel that didn't work. They were stale as baby faces. Whereas you can have a bit of nostalgia and something fresh with Enzo and Cass, who are probably costing TKO half the price that New Day did. But I also think there is something there with Big Bill, with Big Cass. I think he's always had a great look, and I think he has a charisma. Enzo's known for being the mic guy, but Cass is no slouch on the mic either. Like, he's pretty charismatic on mic as well. And I just think his story, about getting clean and everything. I remember seeing him in New Orleans, looking in a pretty bad shape, and he's been pretty open about his struggles and getting clean. And I thought his run in AEW was actually, I think they could have done more with him. And I think he was geared to actually do more. And then they put him, I thought the Ricky Starks pairing was great. And then they put him with Jericho, and it was this feels like a step back from where he could be going. So I actually think this is a good hire. And I think if you can probably the way the schedule is now with very few house shows, Enzo's probably not going to piss as many people off as he did the first time round when they were on the road constantly. If Enzo's just showing up to work once a week, goes in and does his stuff, he's probably going to be a little less annoying and maybe not rub so many feathers up the wrong way as last time. And also he's 10 years older than he was then. So maybe he's done some maturing in that time. And maybe he's given the whole locker room Enzo's rock mix 1 through to 15.
Right. Yeah. With his album or something. Yeah. His mixtape.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to bring back the Cruiserweight title. Wasn't he the one they retired it with
King
him?
of the Cruiserweights, yeah.
I just think of that. King of the Cruiserweights. Wow.
He drove Enzo. Neville out of the company, basically.
I think the last time we saw Enzo, it was, again, we saw him literally talk to him and got that CD at ECW Arena in Philly. But then I think, didn't they try something with Ring of Honor? We were at the MSG show. WrestleMania.
They tried to do something there. It didn't really work. And then I think he's just been in LLW, hasn't he?
I'm surprised the
main promotion he's in.
Considering they brought him back, they're bringing him back. Think of, didn't he go into Raw one time and try to do a takeover? Am I crazy?
At SummerSlam, I think.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
I think it was SummerSlam at Barclays Center.
Right. That's hilarious. Yeah, he tried to sneak in.
He was in a cage when Cass faced the Big Show.
Right. Shark cage match? We reviewed it, I think, on our best match ever shark cage.
We did do best match ever shark cage, yeah.
Which, hey, look at the calendar.
Survivor Series. Okay, it was Survivor Series 2018. He was
Davey, it's July. Oh yeah, that's what it was. July. It's July. You know what comes soon? Shark Week. Shark Week's coming up in a few weeks, which if anyone's followed this podcast, we have done We've done a best match ever shark cage match. We've done Jaws. We've done Deep Blue Sea. We've done Sharknado. Wow, we've really done quite some.
We did great Sharktopus as well.
Yeah, I try to forget that one. What was it? Rob? Who was in that one? Juliet?
Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts, of course, the GOAT. Yeah. So this year we will be doing Shark Week, but that's in a few weeks. We're gonna anything I'm excited for Enzo and Cass. Sure, come to WWE. But anything else from Raw before we move on? Or
Maxine's with the Vision.
Oh yeah,
Otis got punched in the dick. I think
Tales old as time. He gets with a baddie. How does he always get with these baddies and then let them
Otis?
Yeah, and then lets them use him. And throw him away like trash.
He's very relatable to the wrestling audience.
We all been there. We all pulled the baddie, or so we thought, and then just wanted Raw tickets. We will jump into NXT in just a second. I mentioned we have a show called Was Next, a series on our Patreon. We have tons of other shows. If you check out patreon.com/Poisonrana, we do so many different podcasts. We do retro wrestling, movie reviews, and so much more. Recently, we've done Great American Bash, WCW 1996, where we talked about Sting versus William Regal. Bigot Sting. You might know Surfer Sting and Crow Sting, but wow. That was a new one from us. Featuring Lex Luger and the Giant in a fantastic main event. We also recently reviewed Stone Cold Steve Austin in the King of the Ring 1996, the infamous Austin 316 promo. He cuts, so we talk about the entire show featuring Taker versus Mankind for the first time ever. I know some people are excited about Jackass Forever, and then the Jackass, what was the Jackass The End, or whatever they're calling the new one. I actually haven't seen it yet. I do need to go see it.
Final Jackass.
The final ass. We reviewed the original 2002 Jackass the movie on our Patreon a few weeks ago, and that was a ton of fun going back and wondering. I still wonder to this day if Butterbean is okay. And then we did a recent TNA episode, an Up Yours, where our world champion family patron, Andrew, selected an episode of TNA Impact. The Booker T is on one debut of Black Snow, featuring all the main event mafia taking over Impact, which ties in quite nicely. This was a good TNA podcast with the whole Dark Side of the Ring and TNA thing, which is the third part, I guess, aired tonight. So I'm probably gonna have to put that on later. We did a whole discussion of part 1 and 2 on our free feed this week, but tons of podcasts over on our Patreon. Those are just some recent shows that we've done, but hundreds of movie reviews, wrestling reviews. We also have some things lined up, including a SummerSlam 2001 review, and this week, because of Dark Side of the Ring, Davie, how do you spell this man's name?
GOONE. Goonie.
There you go. Goon? What? We're gonna look at. Very nice. We'll put that in the intro of this clip. We do a show called Best Match Ever, where we review, rate, and dissect different wrestlers or feuds or all sorts of different stuff, stipulations, rivalries. But because of the Dark Side of the Ring, we want to show our love and appreciation to Jeff Jarrett, and we're going to look at the very best of Jeff. And you have made this list. What are we looking at this week? I'm watching a lot of Jeff Jarrett tomorrow.
As always, trying to span, have a look at the entire career, but like the best bits as well. And I think, we've been doing this Patreon for a long, long time. We've been doing the podcast since 2018, and Patreon didn't start too long after that. I think we're reviewing our very first Nick Bockwinkel match. And
wow.
I don't think I've ever seen Nick Bockwinkel. Obviously, he's a name I've heard about. I don't think I've ever watched a Nick Bockwinkel match. But yes, Nick Bockwinkel versus Jeff Jarrett from AWA in 1987. We've got Shawn Michaels versus Jeff Jarrett from In Your House 2. Jeff Jarrett versus Redacted in a ladder match for the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship from Starrcade 99. Jeff Jarrett versus AJ Styles in a steel cage match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in April 2004. Jeff Jarrett versus Sting for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship versus career match from Bound for Glory 06. Jarrett versus Kurt Angle in a no DQ match from TNA Genesis 09. And most recently, Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson from an Anything Goes match from AEW Dynamite. And if you remember, this was Danielson's road to All In, where Jarrett was trying to wake him up to go for the title. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag here, but I'm quite looking forward to it. A lot of stuff I've never seen. I'm pretty pumped for this one.
Okay, I know a lot, like, coming to my mind when I think of Jeff Jarrett, like, I was watching TNA in the mid-2000s, and I think he had a big feud with AJ, like, where AJ, a Hard Justice match, I wonder if that was, like, on the top one, but it wasn't a cage match, but if I imagine, I don't think I've seen this cage match, possibly, so I'm sure it's good. And I remember him having a pretty fun match, a ladder match with Jeff Hardy in, like, 04 as well. And then I think a match that's missing is Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy in the Chainsaw Massacre match from Dynamite a few years ago.
Which we watched in the lounge at Pearson Airport.
Really lit. We were so lit.
Your girlfriend got cut off. She kept bringing us whiskeys as we're watching Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett run around with chainsaws. That was
we have tons of shows. Patreon.com/PoisonRana. It's $5. You get hundreds of shows. We are two independent podcasters. You want to support your boys, buy us a beer, buy yourself some podcasts. Patreon.com/PoisonRana. I see a chat. Big Time Baxter, who says, "Holy shit, I was thinking I'm at the end of the stream and realizing you guys are just starting the review." Yeah, welcome to Up Next.
It wasn't a tape show this week. So.
Baxter's always in the chat. We appreciate you, brother.
On an hour and 5 minutes of plugs.
Sorry, guys.
Spent about 20 minutes on NXT.
Yeah, I'll try to get through this real quick so you just listen to us ramble for nothing. But maybe someone just skipped to this part and Yeah, that's right. Here, we're talking about NXT.
Some people, this is the favorite part, right? Yeah.
Some people. And then we get comments like, fuck these guys.
Well,
we love
you know
you too.
what?
Thank
That's
you for
why I
listening.
put the timestamps in the comments.
Yeah, bless them and bless you. NXT from Tuesday, July 14th. We are going to Orlando, Florida. We're going to the WWE PC. We're talking about some NXT. We start the show with Lillian Garcia, a familiar face here.
Yeah.
Right? She hanging out down here in NXT. They send her back to developmental. They're like, you need to work on some things.
Where's Mike?
Yeah, I guess he's allowed some vacation time. Or maybe something. Yeah. I don't know. But Lillian jumping in on NXT here. We have our opening contest, and it is an NXT Tag Team Championship match. The tag team champions, the Vanity Project, Ricky Smokes, and Brad Baylor, defending against Dorian Van Dukes and Sean Legacy. We saw these two, the new tag team of these two. This is their third time teaming, but they've recently won the #1 Contenders match, and that's how we got here today. Booker T on commentary really early on. I guess I should call him Black Snow like we were talking about. Booker T says that he was part of one of the best tag teams of all time. And Vic Joseph just replies, "Oh, Book, I didn't know you were in the Dudley Boys." Which Vic must just know the right buttons to push, because clearly this enrages Booker T. And somehow we get from that to, well, you know, I actually won world titles where the Dudley Boys were, okay, he didn't quite say it, but I know he was thinking it, regional titles.
Regional champions.
Regional championships.
Champions, independent titles. Vic
I got a
didn't
kick
even
out of
say,
this.
oh, like, I didn't know you were in the 16-time world tag team champions, Dudley. Didn't even mention that, and Booker's...
No, Booker's like, I won more than him.
Just so you know, the Dudleys, I won more.
Yeah, their titles didn't count. Their titles did not... So Booker T claims that the ECW titles are regional titles because they were not... Like, that was an indie promotion, essentially, and that... But I don't know, did Harlem Heat ever win the IWGP? TNA, what other ones did Dudleys win? Look, I like the Dudleys, but you have Booker T arguing with Bubba Ray. It's like, for fuck's sake, I don't want to hear either of these guys argue, especially against each other. It's like, who's worse? Whose side am I even on in this? I guess Book's in this case, but anyway, I like ECW. They count. They did a show in Canada. It's worldwide. North America, regional.
I mean,
anyways.
If it's the World Series in baseball, I guess
they don't even
titles.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, Vanity Project versus Dorian Van Dukes and Sean Legacy here. We have some crazy action with Van Dukes and Legacy are just like flying all over the place with some pretty cool, impressive combos. There's like a back suplex into a PK moonsault combo. Legacy got some chops and he's chopping everyone. When I mean that, I mean he can't sing, but he's really chopping everyone around here. Booker T calling him the Cholula Green, as we haven't heard that one in a while. There's a really crazy like crossbody to the outside where Dorian. Remember when who was this that did this? Where they did the spring back, like you hold the rope back and then you let go and it springs the guy up into the air. Joaquin Wilde, yeah, he did this in NXT and then quite a few times. But it's like Dorian just pulls the rope and then lets go, and then it just sends Legacy flying into the air with this huge crossbody to both guys to the outside. This was pretty awesome, but I hope his knee is okay, which it seemed like it was. We go into break. When we come back, Vanity Project is in control. We got Ricky Smokes applying a straight jacket on Legacy, and then finally Dukes tags in with the hot like clotheslines. There's this like spin out Stan Hansen type move, and then a top rope lion salt for a near fall. Brad Baylor comes in with what I can only describe as a Rainmaker code breaker. Hey, that kind of rhymes. Maybe that's why he did it. There's like a slingshot and then a spear, which is broken up, but Ricky thought he almost had it there. There's then Dorian hits like the Kurt Angle run up the rope superplex, which sets up a splash and then a 450 on Smokes, but Baylor breaks that up again. There's then a blue thunder bomb, a series of topes, and then another from Legacy. They're just flying all over the place here. But at one point, when the ref doesn't see, Lockwood on the outside pulls the rope, sending Legacy crashing, which allows Vanity to kind of beat down on Dorian. They counter the death. They hit their what's their move? Like the Scorpion Death Drop Stomp on Van Dukes, and they get the pin and retain the NXT Tag Champions in a very exciting opening matchup on NXT.
Yeah, fun match, and I hope the way the finish was, I hope it leads to a rematch down the line. Although I think they're building up for Noam and Romeo to eventually maybe be the ones to topple them. The way they're doing their we've got to build up our wins to get there.
Sure,
but I think I see a comment in the chat about the men's division and the main event men's division about how it's gone downhill since Tony D won it. I would say it's gone downhill before then. I think we've been criticizing the main event scene for quite a while, but they're not there yet on promos and that. But I think there is a place that you could move Van Dukes and a Sean Legacy into that position at some point. So I kind of hope this feud continues, mainly to kind of stretch them on the promo side of things, because Vanity Project are very entertaining in that, and I'd like to see them maybe go back and forth a little bit like that, because in ring all four of these guys are great, and I have no qualms with their wrestling at all. But I would be looking at a Legacy and Van Dukes as people you could move up this card in singles roles. So let's try and hone in some of their other skills and get them more all-rounders, because they're the people I'm excited about in NXT in the men's division right now.
These two are great. We saw little glimpses of them. I know Legacy has been on TV here on Tuesdays a bit more than Van Dukes, but what we've seen of them is a very impressive in-ring work. They are hitting all sorts of crazy moves. They fit. I'm very critical of the wrestling style on WWE TV, but they wrestle a little bit differently than that. They wrestle NXT can be kind of fast and everything. I don't know where these guys would fit on the main roster with just the wrestling in today's landscape of WWE. But you're right. Down here, let's see what kind of character we can get out of them. Talking, personality and everything, because I think these are two of the most impressive in-ring athletes that they have on this show. I really like this match, and I love what we've seen from Legacy and Van Dukes so far. So I would love these guys to be in the spot.
Yeah, Van Dukes kind of has a bit of a Fabian Eichner thing about him in a way.
He's jacked, but
he's jacked. He's kind of like a Brian Cage without being fucking ridiculous. If that makes sense,
right.
The stuff he does. He's like a bigger, more powerhouse kind of guy. Yeah, a little bit, but his body type actually suits it a little bit more.
Right.
So yeah, I like him. I think both stand out, and I thought this was a fun match, and I continue to enjoy the Vanity Project. Act.
Yeah, I love these guys. They're all four of these guys seem like this was more cruiserweight, flying around and stuff. But the Vanity Project all three of them are smaller side, but they are so tight in ring. They are very snug and look pretty good for being at such a young age. And then on top of it, you said they're entertaining as these, dickhead heels kind of thing. So I love this act. And I thought this was one of the highlights of the show. I don't know if this was my match of the night, but it put me in a good mood for the show when you start off with a hot tag team match. And Vanity Project, in my opinion, as someone who just watches this show, as soon as I know they have a tag team match, I know I'm going to get a good match out of these guys. And now I'm going to add Van Dukes and Legacy to that list where, okay, well, we got them on the show, we're getting some heat. And I thought they delivered tonight. And I know what you're saying, because we will get to Romeo and Noam Dar, but you could go back to Legacy and DVD as a team down the line. Yeah. We see that Miles, Bourne, and Tavion Heights also enjoyed the opening match because they're watching it backstage. Tavion says that if they had an opportunity to go up against the Vanity Project as a tag team, they would beat them, no sweat. They're interrupted by Cam Hendricks, who comes in. A very nice Showtime chain on here. He's talking pretty cocky here about I beat Tony D'Angelo on my first night in NXT. And they kind of go, does that mean you're back in action? And he goes, actually, I'm only 82.6% ready to get back in the ring. If you've been remembering, he's been updating us on his his health meter, I think they referred it to last week. It's very Randy Orton network news or whatever he used to do. Like, oh, I'm almost healed up kind of thing here. But when he says, oh, I'm almost ready, this is when Miles says, yeah, well, everyone knows that Mason Rook is just waiting for you to be ready because he's probably going to want to have a match with you. And Cam Hendricks doesn't like that so much, so walks off. So, Cam versus Mason Rook is, I guess, his return match, and it's probably not going to go well for him.
He's clearly not been watching Raw either, because he seems in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know who this guy was, and then it kind of put, social media has put the picture in. Maybe, for anyone who's not aware, Cam Hendricks is dating Austin Theory in real life. So
I think they're married.
Oh, he's married to Maxine. Wow.
I think so. Or engaged or something.
He's Maxine Maxing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's you act.
They're married.
That's part of the job, right? How do you feel about that?
It's all part of it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Got to pay those bills, don't you?
Yeah. Exactly. She's got that main roster money. And maybe she bought that Showtime chain, but I've kind of liked this guy since coming in. He's been pretty. I mean this in a positive way. He's annoying, and in wrestling, hey, that's how you make money. So
he's confident. He feels easy doing this role. I've been pretty impressed with him so far.
We see Saquon Sugars is looking for some partners because he's got a 6-man tag match next week against Dark State, but no one wants to be his friends. And he comes out he looks like he's looking in the trainer's room, and he sees OTM backstage, and he goes, OTM, and he tries to dap them up, and they're not having it. And he tries to be their friends, and they say, oh, so you used to run the numbers game, but now that they're not in your favor, you want people to help you? We're not going to do that. And then they kind of glance over at Birthright and go, maybe they'll help you. There's more to this segment, but I kind of like that. I just assumed OTM would just be their partners because of the way they were also beefing with Dark State. So maybe we eventually get to them still working together. But it's not just like, oh, bad guys and bad guys? Okay, let's be friends,
you're
brother,
not friends
brother.
anymore? Let's be friends, yeah.
At least it's like storytelling. Nah, you guys beat up everyone, and we don't forget. So actually, I don't want to be your tag team partner. I like that.
You know what I preferred about this segment, though, is the Birthright stirring the pot with OTM.
Yes. So we go from that to the Birthright, and Sugars goes over there, I guess, to talk to them. And this is where OTM are with him still. And Lexis King with the Birthright says, hey, did Bronco tell you before he showed up in CMLL? And you see Lucien Price's face kind of changes. He's not necessarily in a good mood. He goes, did he tell you that he did all these things, and he didn't ask you if you wanted to go down there?
T-shirt and everything.
Did I say CMLL? I meant AAA, but sorry. CMLL is the other one. AEW. The AEW associated lucha. AAA, Undertaker's lucha. So he says, did he tell you that you went to AAA? And you can see Lucian's a little like, oh, okay. And he goes, well, he knows, says Bronco. He knows that I got to provide not just for myself, but for my family. And this is when Lexis King mentions, yes, Lil JJ. And this really upsets Bronco. Like, hey, don't you bring up Lil JJ, you son of a bitch. We get a big argument here, but a Lil JJ shout out again, which means, guys, I think we're getting Lil JJ on TV again.
I love that. I actually went back to rewind to check. Lexis didn't actually call him Little JJ.
What did he say?
He just said JJ, I think. But
someone said
canon, he's Little JJ. Yeah. He's Little JJ. And if Bronco has a problem with,
have I just been calling him Little JJ?
We've been calling him Little JJ since day one. I don't think they've ever called him that, but one day they will.
I just looked up Lil JJ, and Lil JJ showed up. James Charles Lewis III is an actor and stand-up comedian. Just Jordan, Lil JJ. It's not that Lil JJ. We're talking about Bronco Nima's little brother, Lil JJ.
Yeah. We need the streets need Lil JJ back.
Look, Davey, we've been saying recently for months, possibly a year. The NXT Championship men's division really needs a shakeup. And I think Lil JJ could finish the story. I think it could happen. I think Lil JJ could be a force to reckon with. Imagine he starts off as a manager.
Naraku in a couple of...
WrestleMania 50 main event, Lil JJ versus Brody Jr.
There we go.
Book it. Long-term storytelling. We need Lil JJ on TV, though. But does this lead to an OTM breakup? What's going on? Wouldn't you be mad?
They seem to be going that way, don't they?
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad if you had a little brother that you had to, supply for and be there for and take care of, and you got offered jobs in Mexico. I'd be like, yo, bro, go do it. Like, I wouldn't be mad at you, but you would probably be like, hey, I'm going to go join this team and hang out with Carmen Petrovic. You cool with that? And I'd be like, oh, thanks for the invite, but yes or no,
Yeah, I actually feel they started to kind of win me over as a team, and I've been hard on these two.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the time to split them. I look at someone like Tavion Heights, and I do wonder how these two would be solo. So I don't think it's necessarily a good idea. Have Lucian join the group as well. Why not? Like,
sure.
AAA is so separate from everything WWE's doing. I wouldn't break them up over this AAA group personally.
Job Knobley in the chat says JJ winning a title before Evans. Lil JJ winning a title before Javon Evans? Wow, it could happen.
True, he hasn't won anything, has he? Yeah.
At this point. Order. We go to the ring. We see Tristan Angels dressed very nice. I couldn't tell. Was this Tristan Angels or was this the guy who plays Triple H in Young Rock? I keep seeing Young Rock clips on my feed, and the guy who plays Hunter Hearst Helmsley looks a whole lot like Tristan Angels, but I love Tristan Angels.
Okay,
Hunter Hearst Helmsley attire here. He says, order, cutting a promo, dressed very nicely, very appropriate. He says, God must have a sense of humor because he created Shiloh Hill. This guy is a bum. He's got a family tree of raccoons. He's got less teeth than a Victorian peasant. But the good Lord was overcome with remorse when he sent me as an apology. And here I repossess Mr. Hill's tooth. And he pulls out the tooth. That the tooth and the piece that connects, I guess, to keep it in his mouth. I guess not good enough because it's not in his mouth anymore. But he's got it. And he says, without this tooth, what really are you, Shiloh? Without this tooth, you're just a creepy hillbilly weirdo. And when he continues on, he's interrupted by Shiloh Hill on the Titantron. With Sans tooth, obviously. He says, You know what, Tristan? Up here. The tooth made me look normal. And I can fix my smile. But now, the fog is coming. And then he proceeds to laugh maniacally. And then his is not like Naraku or Seth Rollins. His is like a clown almost.
Yeah.
And we see smoke machines going off in the PC and like lightning sound effects and the lights all flickering like a storm. The fog is coming as he laughs, and Tristan Angels is selling this like he's scared of what's to come. And that was the segment.
Yeah, I worry. Like, I like the lane they've had Shiloh Hill in so far. Which has been, he's a little wacky, he's a little weird, but there's nothing supernatural about him. He's just he's wired a little differently. I really hope they don't fall into that like Joe Gacy trap or a Bray Wyatt trap where they have something and then they're like, let's fall into just generic, spooky, supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
It is a worry. Like, they're going to do, as soon as his tooth comes out, he becomes magic. He becomes a magical ghost, man.
When he doesn't have the tooth? So when he doesn't have the tooth in, he's like this crazy, evil, like, ghost? or whatever.
It was just a little too over the top, this. And I know Shiloh is over the top, but I think so far they've done it in a way that makes sense in his world, where he's just a bit wacky, a bit weird, a bit silly. This just made me feel a bit, I hope they're not going this way with him.
I didn't think that. I think it was just, it fell flat of like, it made me go, huh? What? I don't get it. I get what Shiloh said. He goes, I wear the tooth because it makes me look normal, but now that I'm taking it off, it makes me stand out. It makes me be my own person and reveal who I really am. So I thought this fell pretty flat. This reminded me of when Kendall Gray just randomly ate the cake. Now, months later or weeks later, it's good. It's catching on, I guess, that they just keep going to it, and then eventually it's just like, well, she likes cake. But the first time it was like, wait, I'm missing something here. I don't get why you did that. I don't understand that. And that's how I feel, and not in a good way. It's just like, it's dumb. And that's definitely how I felt about this. You know, wrestling, trying to get new wrestling fans is always weird, because it's like some wrestling fans don't actually care about the wrestling. They just care about the catchphrases and all that stuff. And then there's the other fans who don't care about all that stuff, and they just care about the fake wrestling, the fake fighting and all that stuff. So there's always this weird mix. But if this was a segment where you had friends over who didn't know what WWE was, or you tried to show them WWE, this would be, I'm not watching this ever again, because it's like childish, cartoony stuff. So I hope we don't lean. I think this is an avenue where Shiloh is like, hey, thank you for revealing the real me, and this is the real me, and I'm going to lean into that. However, Tristan smashed the tooth. I don't think I said that, but he took the tooth and he smashed it, and that's when. So I was just expecting Shiloh just gets way more evil. Like, you don't need to do fog machines and laughing. Just like be scary. Come out and be like, I'm going to fucking kill you, and actually do that. And that's where I thought we were going to go into.
They don't have the Ontario dental plan, do they? In
Florida.
There. That's probably.
I'm sure he's doing okay.
And we know they're not paid too much.
Oh, I'm sure he's okay. That tooth is probably expensive.
Talk to Jasmine Nix about that. You know.
Who? Yeah. I'm not saying this is a write-off, and I think endgame here is we got to go to the pig pen match, the hog pen match.
Yeah, hog pen.
I don't know how, but we're not doing a dentist match. We've seen that in wrestling, and it didn't work.
Tooth on a pole in a hog pen. There we go.
I'm not writing this storyline off, because I actually think these two characters go well with each other. Like, one's the prim and proper Brit who's fancy, and the other's the American hillbilly without a tooth. So yeah, they're destined to do this forever. But this was a weird segment for me. I didn't like this. We go to Izzy backstage with Mr. Stone. Oh, it's my favorite time. I get to do Izzy and Lizzie backstage talking to Mr. Stone with Natty and her group. And we see Layla, who was last week the winner of the #1 contender match, but she got hurt, Natty says, and she's in a sling here. So Natty's like, you can't wrestle.
House show, like, legit.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't read that this week. So yes, Layla Diggs got hurt, so she's not in the match tonight against Zaria. So Izzy is like, well, give me the match. And then Lizzie's like, no, I want the match. So instead, Mr. Stone makes the match tonight, North American title, Zaria defending against Izzy, Lizzie, and Nikita in a 4-way. And it's in 20 minutes, so get out of here.
Wizzy, yeah.
Izzy, Lizzie, Nikita, and Zaria. Yeah. The state of NXT names. But yeah, great. I liked Mr. Stone being like, get the fuck out of my office now. All you people are yelling and stuff. I feel bad for Layla Diggs. She had a great showing last week. Like,
I felt kind of bad for Zaria here, to be honest.
True, but yeah.
She's preparing all week for a match against Layla. Layla gets injured, and it's like, oh, here's 3 other opponents, and you don't even have to get pinned to lose the title. Like,
yeah.
Harsh.
I got a question, though. Are y'all ready for a wild ride? I love Tate Wilder's music. It doesn't sound like Chad Gable's, but the same AI people probably made it. Am I right? Am I not too far off? It sounds like Florida Georgia Line, and I think Tate Wilder looks like he's in Florida Georgia Line, so like it's not helping. But I don't know. I like this Tate Wilder. Y'all ready for a wild ride? Out comes Tate Wilder because he's got a match against.
Can I ask, would you know who Florida Georgia Line was if it wasn't for WWE? Because
yes,
I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, I learned of them first from WWE, but then
there we go. That's kind of what I mean. Yeah.
Over the years, though, I had heard their music.
Gotcha.
And then I went to Nashville once, and it was they were really popular at one point. But that's like the most like poppy American country where it's not necessarily my favorite. But Tate Wilder looks like he'd fit in this band. Tate Wilder versus Naraku. We have a little insert promo from him. He says a lot of people might scoff at me because I'm so out there and I'm so wild and taking this match, but that's just a Tuesday. And if I can beat a former contender for the NXT title, that's a risk I'm willing to take. So the risk taker, Tate Wilder here. They don't call him that, but they could. Tate Wilder, Naraku, 1-on-1. Wilder hits a series of arm drags here and then sends Naraku to the outside, goes for a tope suicida, but in midair, Naraku forearms him, knocking him to the ground, and we go into commercial break. When we come back from break, Naraku, this is a quote from Vic Joseph. Naraku has slowed the pace down in this match. Ah, yes, reminding me the good old days of Evil and the House of Torture. He's just slowed this shit right down. What's that? We're in commercial break? Yeah, we fucking slowing down. Eventually, though, Naraku knows where the hard cam is now and knows we're back on live TV. Locks in a very nice looking STF. Eventually, though, Wilder escapes from this. He starts to fire up and hits some pretty flashy moves, including this running sling blade backbreaker, which was pretty cool. Think of the Randy Orton used to do this like side backbreaker thing, but some people, this happens a lot where people try to do the sling blade and then don't know how to do it properly, and it kind of ends up looking like this. This one is done purposely to be like this backbreaker, and I thought it looked pretty good. Eventually, he hits this like brainbuster type suplex, and then does a double jump into like a moonsault, but Naraku ducks. So Tate lands on his feet and then runs to the other corner, does a double jump into a crossbody, connects this time, but only a 2 count. Eventually, Naraku sends Wilder like flying into he tries to send him flying into the guardrail, but he doesn't quite make it. So it actually makes it look like it was even nastier than it was supposed to be. He rolls him back in and hits the Everything is Evil, the forward STO, Enter the Abyss
into
or whatever.
The Abyss, yeah.
He pins Tate Wilder here. And after the match, Tony D attacks him, and there's a big pull apart. And then Naraku spits the red poison mist, but Tony ducks. So this poor jobber cop eats the mist. Oh, the cops in WWE this week are really getting it. But yeah, the mist in the face here. But yeah, what did you think of this match and what happened?
Yeah, I'm enjoying Tate Wilder. There's something about the look that makes him quite generic, I think. Maybe it is because he looks like Ryan Nemeth that I'm thinking that, but
he does.
Something's not quite clicking, but I like the idea of the character, and I still think he needs to be a little wilder in the ring. Like I'm getting they're trying to push him as almost a male Sol Ruka. Is the kind of feeling, like a little unorthodox, like even his ring gear is.
He wears Vans.
Sol Ruka.
He wears the same shoes, the Vans. Yeah,
it's quite Sol Ruka-esque. Whereas I think Sol Ruka would be pulling off stuff that we don't often see, kind of the women do in NXT. Like, yeah, that sling backbreaker was cool, but I haven't necessarily seen like the Daredevil, the wild side of him.
We say this every week, and it's totally true. Yeah. I agree completely. It's like, oh, I'm so wild. Are you ready for a wild ride? What, you do a double springboard into a crossbody? I'm like, all right. Like, I'm not asking you to pull out the power tools or stab someone or something, but like, I would like something like every wrestler does a tope. We had an opening match where Shawn Legacy and Dorian Van Deuce were running circles around what this guy did in this ring, like in his match. So I liked the idea of this guy. I like this guy. He's got something. He's got some charm. I'm on Team Tate Wilder, but we need something. And every week I get he's the jobber and he's the enhancement talent here. You know what? It's been a long time, but the Raul Mendoza enhancement talent of the year, award might go to Tate Wilder because his whole gimmick is he's losing a lot on TV. But that's totally fine. His time will come. But for someone who's all about like, oh, I jump out of planes and I'm such a risk taker and I love being on the wild side, you gotta show me. You haven't done really anything. A sling blade isn't it at all. But I still like this guy. It's just unfortunate. Naraku's boring. I'm like, are we going to have to wait till we get to WWE main roster when they realize, oh, wait, this guy sucks, actually.
I wouldn't say he sucks. I'm actually enjoying Naraku way more here than even in New Japan at the moment.
Sure.
But I'm over this Tony D feud. I kind of want him to just get the title and then see what he does with other characters.
I agree.
And he might next week.
We'll see. We go to Hank and Tank backstage with EK Prosper. Hank is saying that he wants a match with Keanu Carver next week. And EK and Tank are like, oh, you probably shouldn't do that. And he's like, nah, I want revenge. And they're like, all right, well, if you got to do it, he's a beast and he's not going to stop. And Hank says, no, it's going to stop with me. I want revenge. And they're like, all right, you got this. We believe in you. This is when Saquon Sugars shows up and goes, hey, I know we've had our problems, but what do you say, you guys? Yeah, you want to be my tag team partner next week? And they go, yeah. Pretty much they say, miss me with that. And they say, no. And he goes, come on, honk, honk. And they go, no honk. Honk? No honk. No honk. And then he goes, bruh. So still no friends from Sugars. Yeah, do you think Sugars gets to keep the bruh in the divorce from Dark State? I think it was always him doing it.
I think they're all keeping the bruh. Dion,
I think it was him that always did it, though.
Bruh. Oh, it was Dion as well, for sure, bruh.
Yeah. Bruh, it's on site. We go to our next match. A fatal four-way match for the North American Women's Championship. The champion, Zaria, defending against Izzy Dame, Lizzie Rain, and Nikita Lyons. Yes. Keeping score there. Izzy Dame and Lizzie Rain. Love it. They're so. It's not even just the first name. It's the last.
We were both in the same match last week, right?
Yeah, they're fucking with me, man. I don't know. I'm trying. Actually, this was a pretty fun match as it got going here. So 4-way for the North American title. All four are going at it pretty quickly here with all like offense. Izzy hits a backbreaker. Nikita hits a German on Izzy after. There's a spinning lariat from Zaria. When we come back from break, this was weird. We don't see or hear too many mistakes on air from WWE TV, but you could hear Vic Joseph as they went to break or when they were coming back from break or something. You just heard Vic and his voice was different because it wasn't his on air like voice. Bless you, Vic, we love you. But you could hear him and it sounded like he was asking, he said, hey Book, do that one thing when we come back. And then it cut. And then it came back.
It was like, oh, that's good. You say that and I'll say this.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's very AEW. You tune into a Collision, and you got like a wonky TV. You're gonna hear them doing the whole production rundown sometimes. I swear, sometimes on Collision,
like,
I can hear everything.
Like, yeah.
But hearing WWE doesn't do it too often. Sure, they'll do like cut to people or whatever, but having a hot mic like, hey, you do that thing and then I'll do that thing is kind of funny hearing it from Vic. But when they came back, it was clearly him being like, Booker has this whole thing about, with these four women and Iron Woman in the match, and like it was clearly what was planned. But again, it's just funny because it doesn't always happen. But back to the match when we come back. Zaria has a chokehold in the corner on Nikita. She lets go, and then Izzy tries to fight her, so then she puts the same chokehold in her. We have a Rana off the top from Lizzie on Zaria for a 2 count. That was pretty cool. Frankensteiner. Lizzie coming in hot here with all the chops in the corner, making it rain as the crowd is really getting into it. She hits a spine buster and then the Matrix escape and then a tornado DDT and then a cutter as well. Lizzie Rain really on fire. The cutter is broken up by a splits by Nikita. I thought that was pretty cool. Best way to get a pin broken up is someone doing the splits on top of both of you. She then hits a Tiger Driver by Nikita. I should say Evolved Champion Nikita on Lizzie for a 2 count. Everything's kind of breaking down here. There's German suplexes, flying code breakers, spears, some kickouts. It was really picking up here. There's a huge kick by Nikita and then the headbanger from Lizzie when Natalya comes out with Carmen, and they're all trying to get involved, and then Jada comes out, and there's a spear from Zaria to Carmen, and then in the ring, Nikita hits the roundhouse. Sorry, Nikita hits it on the outside, goes in the ring, but she's hit by the spear from Zaria, and then Zaria picks Nikita up, the zone of destruction, the F5 for the 1, 2, 3. But towards the last stretch of this match, especially when we came back from commercial break, I thought all 4 women were really going at it and giving it their all. So I really got into this match. In the beginning, it was a little rough going into the commercial break, but I thought when we came back, it was nonstop action here. I really got into it. And even Nikita, I know we've been pretty hard on Nikita, especially when she was really new, but I think she's stepped up. I got to admit.
Yeah, she's picking it up. I've said this before, but Lizzie Rain really reminds me of a 2014, 2015 NXT wrestler, right?
There's the character.
Just everything about her, someone that is quite unique and just got a connection with the crowd right away, right off the bat. Is good in ring. I think but it also doesn't feel a forced character sometimes I feel we get in NXT. So she feels a bit of an NXT throwback in a way. And I'm pretty much taking Zaria as a babyface now at this point. Coming off the Sol Ruka feud. As I said, it's you're putting this match. They're not presenting her that way, but I think she will be taken that way. And I think the crowd are taking her that way. As I said, she was meant to have this singles match. It becomes a fatal 4-way. She wins in pretty dominant fashion. She's pinning the heel in the match. I feel, and people in the end of the Sol Ruka feud were kind of siding with her anyway. So I kind of am already not seeing her as the big monster heel that I think they maybe intended to push her as. And I think she's going to be more of it's fun watching this woman smash people up and cheer her for that. And I felt we got a sense of that in this match.
Yeah, I think actually doing the 4-way it shows that more of her because she's spearing people, she's throwing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that works better in her favor. Where I've said shorter squash matches is probably what's better for these TV version of Zaria, and then you get into a bigger program where she can have the actual longer matches. But having multiple people in a match allows for a lot more action. We've said over time wrestling full stop, I feel the multi-man, multi-person matches have stepped up, but even in WWE a lot too. They've really almost perfected the okay, we don't just have downtime. There's always something kind of going on, which makes it again these matches really exciting. But Lizzie Rain got to be one of my favorite new characters in NXT. I am into rock and roll, hearing that she's related to someone from Iron Maiden or whatever we talked about all those weeks ago, even cooler. But her wrestling is really unique, and the thunderstruck, the headbanger, the head thing she does is pretty cool. All her moves are good, but then she's also got the rock and roll character, and I think if handled correctly, we could have a star on our hands. I'm a sucker for rock and roll, and a lot of people are. And you mix that with wrestling, that's a easy hand in hand. And I think she's kind of this early on shows me a whole complete package of okay, she's got the entrance where she's on the mic like Big E, hey Orlando, are you ready for the Thunderstruck or whatever? It's I think that could go a long way. So Lizzie Rain for future NXT Women's Champion, one of my new favorite characters for sure. This was one of my highlights of the show. It was between this and I think the tag match. Yeah, it was really good. We see Saquon Sugars backstage. He's still looking for friends. I thought this was funny. So he's asked a bunch of tag teams of dudes, and they said no. So he asks Ren QCC, hey, you're champions. You guys are a team. Could you help me? He says no one wants to be my friend. And Kendall says, yeah, well, maybe they don't want to be your friend. Sorry. Ren says you could join the Ren QCC, but we won't help you with your problem. But we do have cake when we celebrate. Another reference to how much we just got to let you know that she really loves cake and wrestling.
She loves it.
Lola Vice walks in, very serious here. Saquon says, oh, hey, mama. And she goes, not now, and scares Sugars off. she says, "I want my title back." So Kendall says, "Oh yeah? Well, I guess you better win tonight." And Lola responds, "I will," as she walks off. So serious Lola wants revenge. She wants her title back. And maybe she'll get it in the main event. But I liked how Sugars was trying to shoot his shot. "Hey, mama." No, not now. We've all been there. We go to Mr. Stone's office. He's angry. Tony D'Angelo walks in. He's angry too. And he goes, "Hey, why are your goons pulling me off Naraku? Like, he fucked me up and I'm trying to get some revenge. What's going on?" He goes, "I'm trying to protect you, Tony." He goes, "You're not protecting anything. Let me fight him." And he goes, "No, if you don't let me fight him here, then I'm going to take it to the streets." He says, "Well, you already have the rematch. It's next week, you versus Naraku for the NXT title." And he goes, "Yeah, well, that's good, but not good enough. And I'm not waiting anymore." And then he runs out and he goes, "No, wait, what are you going to do?" And Mr. Stone chases him out of the office. Yeah, I mean, they're
and then
pretty
it's confirmed
much,
later in the night we're getting the street fight.
this was hitting you over the head with, "I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I'll take it to the streets." Is that a step up? Take it to the streets? Is that a movie? I forget. "Take it to the papers if I have to. Take it to the streets." Yeah, they said the word street too many times that I knew that was
too many times.
Yeah.
Do you see a title change next week?
I would do it, man. I don't like Evil. I just said he's boring, but like we need to do something. Tony D is not working, unfortunately. I don't know what we do with him. Like, what happens to Tony D if he loses his title? Where does he go in NXT? Main roster? What does he do?
Yeah, I think he's done.
I don't know.
Like, it's what else is there to do? Like,
he needs to move up, but what the hell are they going to
so.
do with him? Make him a heavy for someone.
Maybe. Yeah. Like at this point, it's what is the point of you have to move these guys up eventually, and
yeah,
I think you've done. This guy's won every title there is to win. He's been a heel. He's been a babyface. He's been
the Mafia.
He's been Sting. Like, it's what else is there to do?
I don't know. And I don't know what his character on the main roster would be, but I would put him in a stable. I would put him in a group or something. Maybe not a tag team, but like I would put... Oh, wait a second. We made this reference. How long has Tony D been in NXT? Like 5 years?
5 years,
Fuck.
yeah.
It's probably been like something like that, right? And you know what? When he first started showing up with the Italian Mafia and stuff, you know what we kept joking about? We kept joking. What other Italian wrestlers can we put in Tony D's family? Well, they're returning after SummerSlam. So there's your group. Enzo, Cass, and Tone. Big Tone, Big Bill, and Enzo. There's your group. The Italian Americans. The Italian World Order. Book it. Put him with them, nice. Honestly. I don't know what else you do with Tony D, but
sure.
Fuck it. Put Stacks in there too. Get the whole... Is he even actually Italian American? Fuck it.
Where's
Put him
Rizzo?
In there Rizzo. We already know Luca's gone. So
Luca's gone.
They don't need a lawyer. Actually, Enzo might need a lawyer, so I don't know. Maybe they do in their group. But yeah. You've heard it here. You heard it here actually like 5 years ago, because we were joking all the time. Like, oh, this Italian NXT, get Enzo and Cass, and we might get that now. So I'm holding out for it. We go to our next match. Tavion Heights versus Jackson Drake. This is a rematch from a few weeks ago where Tavion beat Drake and got the match against Miles Bourne, but Jackson won the rematch, and that's how we got here today. Tavion doing some side chain wrestling here and like throwing Jackson around, and then eventually does like the Kurt Angle where he gets on in the middle of the ring. He's like, okay, well, I'll go down for you here, and then goes on his knees and wants Jackson Drake to try to come and mat wrestle him. And Booker T just starts yelling like, what is this guy doing? Why is he doing? This guy's an idiot. But as Drake goes to try to side wrestle him, Tavion doesn't go for that and turns it into something completely different. And then Booker laughs and goes, yes, I knew Tavion was smarter than that, which I thought was a great bit. Tavion keeps countering Drake's attempts. There's a huge belly-to-belly overhead into the turnbuckle, which was ouchy, sending Drake to the outside after. We get some submission exchanges during commercial break, including like this sort of a dragon sleeper variant kind of thing. These gator rolls. Jackson shows some submissions as well. He locks in a very nice-looking figure 4 leg lock. Eventually, though, Tavion gets him back up and does an airplane spin and some side belly-to-bellies. This is when Brad Baylor gets up on the apron, but gets knocked off, and he turns around and goes to belly Jackson, but in midair, Drake turns this into a sunset flip, and the ref counts 1, 2, 3, with Tavion doing the Hulk Hogan, kicking out, not at 1, but at 3 here. But the ref called it, and Jackson Drake got his lick back here against Tavion, winning the match.
Yeah, pretty fun match. Like, Tavion's great at throwing people around. I think his wrestling's pretty good. But I still find myself watching this and I'm rooting for Jackson Drake, which is not what I should be doing with the dynamics here. I'm still not buying Heights as a babyface. I don't know what the disconnect is at this point, because I do think he's a good wrestler and I thought this was a pretty decent match, but I'm just not emotionally invested in him at all.
We've seen him, they tried a few quick turns and different things, and he's not the most exciting. His wrestling is pretty fine. He's decent. He's pretty good. The belly to belly is the wrestling. Like broken record here. Yeah.
Look great. Like he's got some good stuff in his arsenal.
They shouldn't have broke them up. Him and Miles work way better as a tag team. And I think if this isn't leading to him turning heel, and I don't think it would, I just think we should go with Miles and Tavion as a team. I think they have more legs that way of just two. Miles is a champion, but these two characters are so boring. It's like, you're really good wrestlers, but what is your characters? And I said the same thing about Tony D. Like, I don't know if it's from Beyond the Mat or Unreal or whatever we've watched in the last little while, but like, if you can't explain what your character is in 5 words or phrases or sentence, like, then you need to figure that kind of you need to figure that out. Because what was I just praising Lizzie Rain? Okay, what's her gimmick? Rock star, 80s glam, like British. Like, instantly I know so much more about her than I do like some of these other characters. Miles and Tavion as a team, I think, would go a lot further. But I do love Vanity Project, and Jackson Drake is one of my favorite guys to watch. So I like the match, and I think Drake should be North American champion. I think Vanity Prophecy is what we need. Keep repeating that.
Yeah, he should take it from Miles.
Yeah, 100%, 1000%. Add that match in the next few weeks and take it. We get a vignette for, who is this? Reina Volcan. We see her in the gym. We see her talking, and she says, nature doesn't ask for permission, and neither does Reina Volcan. She says that she's the first Dominican superstar in WWE, and beauty, often people mistake it for weakness, but while you're admiring the view, the volcano is erupting. And she says that she's an endangered species and a force of nature, and I'm going to crush all your favorites, and it starts next week. So she debuts in ring next week on NXT, Reina Volcan. See, at least
Gore.
I got a lot of...
I'm an endangered species.
Are rhinos endangered? Don't get him going again. We got a lot of feedback for that conversation last week. I don't know if it was good or bad, but I like the endangered species thing. Her thing is what? Like, this is kind of Zaria, but it's like volcano. Zaria's is pretty similar, but this is all like natural disaster kind of thing. Her and Zaria could be the new natural disasters, really.
Yeah, there you go.
The way they're, but this woman looks jacked. Like, she looks like she's gonna kill some of these women on this roster. So it would make for an interesting dynamic when in the ring. So I'm interested to see her next week.
You know, when you see people like crushing watermelons with their...
she looks like she could do that.
I bet she could do that.
Like,
her and Michael Lockwood could have a watermelon.
Oh yeah. I always wonder, like, is that like in a James Bond movie? Like, what if it was a head? Would that not just pop like a watermelon?
Yeah,
like it might, right?
You know what I learned? What I learned recently: a finger is as easy to bite through as a carrot.
Ew!
Isn't that terrifying?
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was watching videos of someone feeding like whole watermelons to hippos, and how easily they just crush it. It's like, man. My favorite thing is No, the last time I went to the zoo like 2 weeks ago, all I saw was rhino dick. I sent you a photo of it. You thought it was funny, but My favorite thing to do is go to the hippos and then near people, just say out loud like "world's dangerous animal," and then someone will hear me say that and go, "What? No, it's not." And I'll be like, "Look that shit up, bro. World's dangerous animal, hippo, because they crush watermelons." Like this endangered species. I bet she could crush a few watermelons. Who do you think she should fight next week? Oh wait, they announced it. It's that we haven't seen her in a long time. Not Kendall Gray, but Skylar Ray. Come on, Izzy Rain, Lizzie Dame, Skylar Ray.
When did we last see
Kendall
her?
Gray. I don't know, but she's about to get
crushed
like a watermelon next week. So
yeah, it's been a while.
She gonna get it next week. We go backstage. We have Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar hanging out, and Saquon Sugars shows up. They start to tease him like, "Oh, like we know no one wants to be your friend because you're hard to trust. We're not surprised." And he goes, "Oh, come on, guys." And you can see Romeo like, "Oh, you need tag team? I mean, we could be your tag team." And Dar is like, whoa, no, we're not doing this. And then Romeo says, "Hey, he wants to face Darkstate. If we have a match with Darkstate and maybe win, then we beat former champions, which means we could be in line for a future championship opportunity." So Noam Dar's like, you're right. And then Sugar says, come on. When's the last time the Supernova 11 turned down a fight? And then I was reminded that was his nickname. He can't be
like,
Champagne
there's
Supernova.
one thing you know about Noam Dar.
He never
his time in WWE
turns down a fight.
Yeah, the Supernova 11. It's one thing you got to know.
And he
about
goes,
that guy.
"You got me. I'm in. You son of a bitch. I'm in." So next week, Saquon Sugars, Noam Dar, and Romeo versus.
Yeah, and I assume they'll win and they'll be the next challengers for the tag titles. Probably.
Sure. Or they lose and Romeo must die. Noam Dar just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
No, I would like to see them as a team. I think this could be a long run story with these two, but yeah. Backstage, again, Ren is with Kendall Gray. They're getting ready to watch the main event, the number one contenders. Ren asks her, "Who do you want to face? Who do you want to win?" Because it's Lola, Kelani, and Kali. And Kendall is kind of like, not sure who I want to face. And this is when Kali walks in and goes, "Hey, don't forget what happened when we faced before." And Kendall's like, "Oh, what do you mean? When I beat you and tapped you out?" "Yeah, I do remember, actually." What a stupid thing. Hey, remember what happened?
Because you couldn't beat me?
Remember when you tapped me out? It's like, wait, yeah, I do. And I tapped you out. Is basically, that was weird that she would say it that way, because Kendall just embarrassed her. But Kali says, like, "Yeah, and I'm going to go win tonight, and I'll beat you next time." She walks off, and we see Jada Parker watching her. And then Jada's like, "What are you looking at?" They're both kind of getting in each other's faces. And then Kali walks off. And then in the most, like, Grand Theft Auto beatdown I've seen in a long time in wrestling, Natty appears out of nowhere and attacks Jada from behind. And then you just see this beatdown of Nikita and Carmen putting the boots to. This is so great. It reminded me of the video games. And then Natalia is like, it's just stomping her out backstage. This was such a, like, I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but this was hilarious to me. And Natty is like, okay, enough. And then says, like, "Jada, you got in my space too much. Next week we settle this." So next week it's a rematch, Natalia versus Jada Parker. But wow, those blondes putting the boots to her here. They kept
them in a shark cage.
Both of them?
Yeah.
For Shark Week in a few weeks?
Yeah.
Should get a Shark Week soon. They kept saying the main event's next, but then we went to like 2 backstage segments, and then we came back. I'm like, all right, now we're going to the main event. No, it's time for a Sean Spears vignette. Fuck yeah. We see Death Rider Sean Spears. He needs the patch. He needs the Death Rider's patch. He's in the all black. It's John Moxley on Tubi here, essentially.
Neck fridges on a roof.
On chairs. He's walking. We see Sean Spears walking into, like, what is this, Full Sail and like the performance center. I think he's in front of Full Sail. He's like, I saw a lot of myself. I think he says cultivating talent. That's what it's all about, and that's what I do here at NXT. And Nico Vance and Izzy Dame, I saw passion and grit and potential just like I saw in myself. And I know that truth will ultimately prevail. And Izzy, you became everything and more, and I'm so proud of you. And Nico, big man, you're following in her footsteps, and I'm proud too. But as you take a step front, you take 2 steps back, because you should have known when you put me through that table was the biggest mistake. And next week we go one-on-one. So let's find out what you've learned. Damn.
I never like it in wrestling, and like I've said this about Seth Rollins before. Like, it's happened with him twice. When you have like a major heel and the heel group turn on the heel, we're supposed to just like the guy who got turned on.
Yeah.
And it's like Sean Spears here going like, all I want to do is cultivate talent. It's like, no, you were being a fucking creepy cunt.
You were a cult leader.
For the last year, you've been a little creepy cult leader with your little creepy cult.
Your vest.
And now, because they had enough of you, you're just like, oh, I was just trying to help the talent. It's like, he's saying what we all think his role is in NXT is like, I am literally here to help talent, to help younger talent. I don't need to see a vignette of him, though. Like, sorry, Sean.
Yeah, I don't know much longer this will be an on-screen character. Like, it is cool to have certain vets on TV here in NXT, but at the same time, I didn't like a lot of the stuff he did with the culling. I didn't like this group. I know it has elevated Izzy and got her to this level, and maybe it will work with Nico, but I just didn't like all the stuff, like the theme song, the truth will prevail. I guess, though, if he's automatically supposed to be a babyface, he lost the vest. He literally took off. He did what I've been asking him to do for fucking ever. Take off the vest. You look like Aladdin. He's wearing all black.
He's just wearing what I'd call a vest in the UK, a tank top. Yeah.
It's Death Rider, Sean Spears.
Death Rider, Sean.
Yeah, this was weird, but I guess it needed to be done to end the story. Like, I think he should be written off. I think Nico should just crush him, and that's that. And then the culling is no more, I guess. Did we already pour one out for the culling? I guess we will next week. When it's not
officially done, though, is it?
Yeah. Everyone needs new music. That's all I know. What is he going to come out to next week? What is he going to come out to next week? Underrated theme. Underrated theme song. Oh, man. So good.
It's such a great, like, aerobics theme, isn't it? Like, you just want to work out.
It is good.
It's good.
Can you put money on that? Polymarket. Sean Spears comes out to his Ty Dillinger 10 theme.
I don't know. I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot in this World Cup. I think I got to retire off this weekend.
I think he needs to come out with that theme next week, and I'll take back everything I've said. Yeah, I'll literally never say a bad thing about him again if he comes out to that theme song. Shout out St. Catharines, Ontario, and Niagara Falls.
There we go.
We go to our main event. It's the triple threat #1 contendership match for the NXT Women's Championship. We have the former champion Lola Vice taking on Kali Armstrong and Kelani Jordan. Triple threat here. Lola gains control pretty quickly and then teases the ass attack early on, but then Kelani fakes an injury, so the ref kind of stops her, but then she slaps Lola, being like, I tricked you. It was a nice, really nice looking, like, rope-assisted Rana from Kelani. There's a tornado guillotine from Lola that Kelani eventually breaks up. There's a crossbody to the outside from Kali Armstrong to both of them, which was pretty nice. We go to commercial, but we come back. There's a 2-on-1 like beatdown where there's this is another stomp out here, but Lola's kind of just no-selling it here. Eventually, Lola gets back up and does a spin-a-rana, and then like these kicks, all the crazy spinning kicks that she does to Kelani and then Kali. Yeah. Puts her both in the corners, both of them, and then Booker T's just losing his mind with the giggity, the there's the ass attacks, a spine buster, but then Kali comes back and tries to get some. I think she hits the spine buster. Sorry. There's Kelani, who hits a double eat defeat on both of them, which is pretty cool. And then the split-legged moonsault, but in midair, Lola counters this into a triangle. I thought this was perfect. Think like the split-legged from Kelani, but then catches it right into that triangle. Very nice. And eventually she gets out of that. There's all these roll-ups and attempts and pinning attempts, but it's broken up. Lola comes flying in with a V-trigger to Kelani, and then Kelani comes back with a splash for a 2 count. There's Kali hitting power slams and then hits the Kali connection on Lola. It's the running pounce period. Eventually, though, Kelani rolls her up, and then there's back and forth pinning attempts here when Lola got knocked out. There's a roll up where I think the ref, maybe Kali didn't kick out or something, so the ref kind of like that 3 count was kind of held, and Booker T was the first person to be like, yo, that ref? And I think the crowd were also like, kind of looked like a 3, but the match continued. Kelani gets back up and allows Lola to come in with the spinning back fist and clears her and just takes the pin and pins, I think she pins Kali Armstrong here, but like kind of leans over. So it could almost be a double pin where she's like leaning over Kali, but she stares right at the camera with her tongue out like, I'm coming for you, Kendall. So Lola Vice with the spinning back fist gets the win and is your number 1 contender. We will go to the rematch that we had, Kendall and Lola.
I quite like this, apart from that one like kick out spot. Like I thought Kali looked like she belonged with these two. Obviously, Kelani and Lola have been in NXT a while. They're considered your veterans now in the women's division, I'd say, in NXT. And I thought Kali looked impressive there. I think she carries a lot of confidence with her, which you can see right from her entrance as she's coming down. But I really like this finishing sequence. I think there was that few weeks ago that really contrived moment that led to the tug of war with the belt that just led to a spinning back fist. But I thought everything in this final sequence led really nicely to that spinning back fist, and Lola delivers it great. I was also a little surprised because they're really pushing. I think they were saying Kalani's 0-8 in number 1 contenders matches.
Yeah.
So like kind of like, and it's been Kalani's story. Like, I don't get these opportunities. I never get these opportunities. So I was seeing her winning this. Now, do you see any character change for Lola coming out of this? Do you maybe see a bit of a heel turn or a bit of an edge to her for this rematch with Ren? Because she had a little moment with her backstage earlier in the show, and then we're still going with Lola in this direction. Could you even see it going back to her? And
with Kendall, you mean? Yeah.
In a heel fashion, and Kendall on the chase again, maybe.
That's not the worst idea. I think Lola has really stepped up. Like, think of anytime she wrestled in the last few months, it's been some really good stuff. I've loved all the matches with her and Kendall, if it's the singles or the triple threats we've seen.
Great chemistry,
and Kelani is in that mix too. And I don't know if I disagree with you. I thought Kali did kind of look out of place in certain spots. I was like, okay, you're not necessarily. It shows that you haven't been here as long as Kelani or Lola, because I think Kelani and Lola have stepped up. I think they're 2 of my favorite top women that we have on the roster in NXT, and I think Lola, I don't know if we're going to go back and give her the belt, but I think she's ready for main roster. I think that could be a post SummerSlam thing. Like, her style, it might be different from main roster, but I think she could make it work. I think her wrestling has stepped up, and maybe promo-wise, there's some things to learn there, but I think she's pretty much done it now. She's won the title here. So do this maybe feud, maybe have a little bit of an edge, and maybe lean towards heel. We haven't seen that in a while, so maybe that would be something interesting. But the long run, Kalani's chase for gold, like maybe this 0-0 contendership thing comes into play. Maybe the whole time where she was the squeaky clean baby face and then had to turn heel, maybe she has to go turn babyface again. Like, maybe that's something that could happen down the line. I don't know.
That's why I'm thinking, would it make sense for Lola to turn heel again? Like we've seen in the past with, Roxanne Perez and Bron Breakker, etc., that when they hold someone down a little longer, they often want to see, okay, now we saw with Trick Williams as well, right? Like, now how do you look in this
the other way.
Now,
yeah,
Lola came in as a heel, remember, with Elektra, but that wasn't too long. She's been a babyface for most of the time, at least when she's been a significant character. So I wonder if that's something you want to do. Now, I don't know if that messes with AAA plans that they have with her. I don't really know how they take her there, if they want to mess with that at all. But I'd give it a go, and maybe you're right. Like, is there a way we can move Kelani into that babyface role to be on the chase?
Like, Kelani has been great as the heel, and we thought the story, we thought the story would have been Kelani takes it from Lola, and then Kendall takes it from Kelani. I mean, maybe we do go back to that. You said maybe Kendall has to go back on the chase or something. Like, I don't know. I think Lola, Kelani, and Kendall are the top 3 women in NXT that I like to watch, and I think that those are the champion and the former champion, and I think Kelani is going to be champion by the end of this year and maybe the summer or something, but I'm not sure. But I like this match. I thought Kali did look out of place a little bit, and the pounce she does is no Monty Brown pounce. The Kali connection is a pretty lame finisher.
I quite like it. I mean, she's got that Bron Breakker thing going, right, where she does the like run back and forth to like really build up. She does have pace about her. And like, I know what you mean. It is at the end of the day a pounce, but I think she's been delivering it well.
Well, there you go. That was NXT. Kelani. That's not. Of course, NXT doesn't just end like that. We got to have Vic Joseph running down next week's show. Okay, we got Naraku versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship. We got the 6-man tag, Romeo and Dar versus Dark State. Oh, and Sugar, sorry. Hank versus Keanu Reeves. Not Carver. Sorry, the other way around. Natty versus Jada. And I feel like there was a few other things announced as well, but that's what they ran at the end there. So we got some stuff to look forward to next week. But as Vic is running it down, I guess I don't know what else he said, because he goes, wait, what's that? We got to take it live. And it cuts to a cameraman running in the NXT parking lot somewhere in Florida, Orlando. And we see Tony D'Angelo and Naraku going at it in the streets here in the NXT parking lot. And Mr. Stone is there, and he's like, stop it. And they're fighting. And Mr. Stone says what we've all been thinking. You gonna fight in the streets? Well, next week, Tony D versus Naraku, NXT Championship in a street fight. As NXT goes off the air. Street fight tonight. Next week. Street fight for the NXT title. Naraku taking it? I think so. I think that's more exciting. I think so, yeah. Which is not exciting at all, because I think he's boring, but it's something. It's something. Yeah. A little bit of a mixed bag NXT. I thought there was some really solid wrestling with the opener tag team title match. I love Vanity Project. I thought Jackson Drake was pretty fun in that match with Tavion. It was okay, but I think my favorite match was the 4-way with the women, the North American title, where all of them were flying around and doing some pretty fun stuff. So, next week, hopefully we get a title change and some movement. But I've been liking the injection of the new blood. Some of these new characters are working for me. Vanity Project, like I said. Lizzie Rain, another character. That seems to be working for me. So, yeah. I like this episode. Yeah, it's been a good shake-up with some new faces. I think it's had a bit of a good run recently.
Yeah. And they've been sprinkling like good matches, and I think they've got a few like funky characters in the show, but it's not the whole show anymore. You've still got, for the most part, relatively serious characters in your main feuds, and then you got your odd like gimmicky person in there, unlike the 2.0 era. Yeah. Well, that's what we thought about NXT. We have a Facebook, search Poisonrana podcast. There's a page you can like, but there's also a Facebook group you can join. I believe you have to answer questions like, is William Regal? Pour one out. I think Ralph the Raccoon. I don't know, some answers, some questions. But we post feedback threads, and we will read what you say. I see Sean McTeer writes in, I am officially tired of Lola Vice. Oh. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I feel like she's beginning to really click for me, but I do think she needs to go to the main roster. So maybe you're onto something there, Sean, but still don't agree with you And then we have Megan, who says, a strongly bookended episode. Title match was great. There's greater potential in Legacy and Van Dukes as a team. Eventually, someone's going to have to answer Micah's meddling. The main event, to no one's surprise, rocked the place. Kali's inexperience reared its head a couple of times, and it does help having Lona and Lani hide those mistakes, and she stayed afloat. Commentary harping on Lani's losing record when it comes to number one contenders matches, and she found herself on the outside looking in once again. The four-way for the women's North American title was also very good. Naraku losing twice to Tony wouldn't be ideal. The street fight next week should have a title change. Yes, I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah, I think so. I think it just makes it... Will Hiromu help him win? Hiromu shows up from the streets?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how he does in the streets, but he's going to show up in a coat, a nice jacket. I don't know. If we get Hiromu on NXT, I'm happy, but I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I want Evil to be champion because Tony, I don't know what we're doing with Tony D. That's the one thing. I'm saying I'm giving praise to NXT with all this injection of new blood, and that's what the show is, developmental. We should be out with the old and in with the new and trying things. Look at the success of like Trick Williams and Obafemi and some of these main roster acts that are Evil, crackhead bird lady. Like, look at all of these things that are working on the main roster, but the men's main like division here in NXT has been suffering and continues to. Like, we got Tony D and Evil in the fucking main event, and it's like, for fuck's sake. So I would like that to be still fixed, but that's for another day. Anyways, that's us talking about NXT. I know we went long with a lot off the top, so if you made it this far, thank you and appreciate your time here today. Again, we do so many other shows. Poison Rana in your podcast app, YouTube, Insta, TikTok, whatever it is that you use, at Poison Rana Pod or Poisonrana.ca for links of everything else that we do, including our Patreon. We got our best match ever, Jeff Jarrett, coming out this week, so I got to watch a lot of Jeff Jarrett tomorrow, so I'm excited about that, plus tons of other shows, and we appreciate the postmarks out there worldwide for hanging out with us here today. So we'll be back next Tuesday with another episode of Up Next. So until then, that is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And Davie, is it coming home?
It's coming home. Ahoy!